takes to make it to the College World Series. He's here for the 10th time. It takes some talented players, like All-American Mike Fiore, who leads the team in every hitting department. It takes hustle and daring on the field. The Hurricanes have stolen 179 bases. And it takes good pitching, the kind that ace Joe Gray has delivered with 13 wins. It adds up to 51 wins and a shot at a third national championship. The Titans of Cal State Fullerton are in the College World Series for the first time since 1984, when they surprised a lot of teams and won the championship. It was the second title for then head coach Augie Garrido, who has moved on to Illinois. Larry Kershaw has taken over and brought his hard-hitting team through a tough South Regional to make it to the College World Series, where the Titans beat Miami tonight. Welcome live to Omaha, Nebraska, Rosenblatt Stadium for Game 4 of the College World Series, featuring the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, champions in 1984, against the Hurricanes of Miami, the champions in 1985. Hello, everyone. I'm Sam Rosen. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our coverage of the College World Series, the final game of the first round of the World Series. Let's catch you up on what's gone on to this point. Let's take a look at the two brackets, the double elimination tournament. And in the East bracket this afternoon, Stanford defeated Fresno State 10-3. Stanford moves on to play the winner of tonight's game on Monday night. And Fresno State into the losers bracket will play the loser of tonight's game on Monday afternoon. In the West bracket, California will play Florida tomorrow afternoon. They were losers yesterday. The winners, Wichita State and Arizona State, meet tomorrow night. Pleasure to be working alongside a man who's in his glory right now, because the second basemen are having great World Series. Joe Morgan. And Joe, we saw a couple of good ones this afternoon. We'll see a couple of more good ones tonight at second base.
Well, Frank Carey this afternoon almost hit for the cycle. He only needed a double. And yesterday we saw Mark Standiford and also Tommy Edwards. Good players, but Cal State Fullerton has a good one also.
Cal State Fullerton is very strong up the middle. They have a good catcher in Brent Main and a fine second baseman, as you mentioned, in Mike Ross.
Well, Sam, any pro scout will tell you that you have to be strong up the middle to consider yourself a good team. These two guys, not only are they good defensive players, they're offensive threats. And Cal State Fullerton has a good up the middle defense. That's why they're here.
Offensive threats. Brent Main hit in 38 straight games during the season, and it was only broken in the regional final. And Mike Ross won the regional championship game with a home run. How about Miami? This is a team that has come to the World Series for the 9th time in the last 11 seasons. They're led by an All-American Mike Fiore.
Well, they call him Mr. Hurricane, Mike Fiore. He leads in all the offensive categories for Miami, all except stolen bases, and he's third there. But he is a true All-American. He was voted to the All-American teams that were announced yesterday. He is the leader of this Hurricane team, and they need his help to win tonight.
Third appearance in the College World Series for Mike Fiore. He's a dominant player. He's had an outstanding season, and we'll see a lot of him tonight. Of course, pitching is so important to any team to make it to the College World Series. And the Miami Hurricanes are led by a fine right-hander, Joe Gray. He pitched them to this College World Series. He'll be in action tonight.
I like thinking of myself as a dynamic person. I try to, you know, the way I look at it, I'm a jack of all trades but master of none.
But Joe Gray has mastered the art of pitching this season. He may be his own toughest critic, but the Miami Hurricanes haven't had any complaints about the job Gray has done on the mound this year. After a so-so year last year, he worked on his mechanics, and as his delivery improved, so did his success.
Yeah, it's a totally different attitude that I had this year. Instead of worrying about once a man got on, especially last year, I had a very slow delivery to home, and I would have at least half a dozen guys steal on me in a given game. But this year, it'd be rare just to see even one guy try to attempt to steal, because I'd cut down my delivery time to home by almost a half a second, which had made all the difference in the world.
Done a much better job of holding runners. Last year, he had 60 stolen bases against him. This year, he's got 3. So last year, he was constantly pitching out of a jam. He'd give up the base hit, and it was always 1 or 2 runs. This year, it's a double play with a ground ball. And that success has changed his attitude in terms of his aggressiveness.
The hard work and new attitude have made Joe Gray a more complete pitcher.
Joe's an excellent defensive fielding pitcher. He does a great job of holding runners. As I mentioned, he's got a good pickoff move, and he does a real good job fielding balls back at him. Joe's a very good highlight player. During batting practice and whatnot, he's out in the outfield. He's one of the few guys that we have, including our outfielders, that can catch balls behind his back, between his legs, and that sort of thing. So he's got very good skills as a defensive player, and that's benefited him greatly during the course of the year.
So what does Joe Gray do when he's not pitching and making trick catches?
And off the field, aside from sports, I collect just about anything from baseball cards all the way down to the fact that I still have a wall of beer cans on the shelf at my house.
During a break in practice, Joe may be discussing his next trade.
I just started out. I was able to trade. I had a Miami football, and I was able to trade it for a Mike Schmidt 73 rookie card, which ended up being a pretty good deal for me.
And Joel Gray went to a card show this afternoon to pick up some more cards. Tonight he'll be working with his good slider, good curveball, but one of the things about Joel Gray is that he seems to get sharper as the game goes along. That doesn't mean he throws harder, he just seems to get sharper. And he was also the most valuable player in the Atlantic region, Sam.
He picked up 2 wins and a save. He was simply outstanding as Miami went undefeated in the regional. Both these teams were undefeated in their regionals, and it's an interesting contrast in styles, Joe, between these two teams.
Well, Cal State Fullerton, being from the West, they're specialized in defense, and also they have good pitching. Miami with Ron Frazier is always an exciting team. They have a lot of hitters. They put a lot of men in action. They're just a good team.
The ace is going. Joe Gray, a 13-game winner, a right-hander, goes for Miami, and Longo Garcia, he pitched a complete game victory in the South Regional, will go for Cal State Fullerton. He's throwing the football to warm up and loosen up, but he'll be throwing the baseball later tonight in Game 4 of the College World Series. ESPN's live presentation of the 1988 NCAA College World Series is being brought to you by Michelob. So exceptionally smooth, the night belongs to Michelob. By Firestone Master Care Car Service with over 1,400 locations nationwide. Finally, taking care of your car is no big deal. By Kodak 35mm cameras for the best pictures of your life. And by Gold Star, the brightest star in electronics. The number 3 seed in the tournament, the Miami Hurricanes, taking on the number 6 seed, the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, will be set to go in just a moment. The lineup for the Titans of Cal State Fullerton is brought to you by Wilson, the official ball of the College World Series. Cal State Fullerton, winner of the South Regional, is coached by Larry Cushell in his 22nd year as a head coach, his first year at Fullerton. Leading off is the left fielder, Greg Mannion, a senior. He's hitting .307 and leads the team with 21 stolen bases. Batting second, the designated hitter, Shane Flores, a senior. He's hitting .317, has 71 hits and 38 walks. Batting third, the catcher, Brent Main, a sophomore. He leads the team with a .401 batting average. He had a 38-game hitting streak this season. Batting fourth, the second baseman, Mike Ross, a senior. He leads the team with 59 RBIs and hit a 3-run home run to put Fullerton in the College World Series. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Keith Cobb, a senior. He's the big power man. He leads the team with 19 home runs. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Jim Osborne, a senior. He's replacing starter Rex Peters. He's hitting .317. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Ralph Ramirez, a junior, hitting .346. He was 8 for 16 in the South Regional. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Mark Razuk, a junior, hitting .254 with 12 stolen bases. He was drafted by the Seattle Mariners. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Bobby Jones, a junior, hitting .262. He's back in the lineup after missing the regional with an ankle injury. He's been drafted 3 different times.
And the outfield will have Ray Noriega in right field. John Vieira will be in center field. Mike Fiore is in left field. The infield will have Rob Word at third base. Jorge Robles will be the shortstop. Jose Trujillo will be the second baseman. Doug DeCock is the first baseman. Frank Dominguez is the catcher. And on the mound, Joe Gray.
Joe Gray, the most valuable player in the Atlantic Regional. He won 2 games in that regional. On Wednesday, he shut out Towson State 4-0, struck out 13 for 100 pitches. Came back Saturday to pick up a save against Georgia Tech, an inning and 2/3 through 13 pitches. And then Sunday, He defeated South Carolina 10-3, 101 pitches, no walks in 19 1/3 innings in the regional. Outstanding.
That's what makes him such a good pitcher. Good control.
Just a gorgeous day here in Omaha, Nebraska. Not a cloud in the sky. This morning there were clouds and some rain, but out went that, and in came beautiful weather. 79 degrees, clear, winds at 7 miles per hour, and the balls were carrying pretty good. In the afternoon game, Stanford hitting a couple of home runs. Here's Greg Mannion to lead it off for the Titans of Cal State Fullerton. Fastball hit over the box, up the middle, and a base hit. So Mannion, who has good speed, leads it off with a single to center on the first pitch of the ball game.
Mannion has stolen 21 out of 29 bases on the season. He's also a good bunter, and I think they were kind of looking for him to bunt there, and he swung at the first pitch at a ground ball back up the middle.
Dennis Rogers coaching at third. Rick Vanderhook coaching at first for Cal State Fullerton. The head coach, Larry Kushel, is in the dugout. Facing the designated hitter, Shane Flores. Flores coming in at 317. Mannion leads the team with 21 stolen bases and 29 tries. Fastball down low.
I talked about the fact that Joe Gray seems to get sharper as the game goes along. That's why it's important for him to get off to a pretty good start and hold the team close.
Again, the fastball, this one on the inside corner.
Already, I think he throws a little harder than I anticipated.
Outfield playing straight away on Shane Flores. On the ground, the first foul. Had the runner in motion that time. And Flores, who handles the bat very well, excellent two-strike hitter. So we'll see here on a 2-2 pitch. Flores handles the bat well, can hit to the right side. Mannion has got good speed.
You heard so much discussion about Joe Gray's new pickoff moves and how he holds runners. What he's doing is varying where he stops. He changes his rhythm. And he was doing a good job, but they put a hit and run on anyway. So I think they're going to have to run in order to stay with this Miami ball club.
Though Coach Larry Kushel says he doesn't like to do that much of it. They don't have all that much speed. Breaking ball hangs high, and the count is full. Now we'll see if Mannion's in motion.
He says he likes to play for the big inning.
Mannion is running. The pitch hit on the ground. Nice stop by DeCock. Doug DeCock makes the play. One man out. The runner moves up. Good play by the first baseman on the backhand. Almost got through to right field. Would have been first and third.
And that's what I mean by putting guys in motion. You open up some holes. But it was a very good play by Doug at first base.
And here is Brent Main hitting .401. Sophomore catcher has had an outstanding season. Started off the season very slowly. In his first 6 games was hitting only .192. They were pinch hitting for him. Now he's the top hitter on the team. Just had a 38-game hitting streak broken in the final game of the South Regional when he went 0 for 3. Pitch stays up. Maine leads the team with 91 hits, 21 doubles, has driven in 31 runs. The only thing he doesn't have for a catcher is much power. A contact hitter. Up high with a fastball. Again, the outfield plays straight away. Frank Dominguez, the catcher for Miami, out to talk to Joe Gray. Hurricanes of Miami.
Here's a pitch. He's up high. I think he's overthrowing the ball. When you have the top hitter of the other opposing team at bat, you have a tendency to want to overthrow your fastball or break your curve off too sharply, and you make mistakes with it. I can see one of the reasons probably that Brett Main doesn't hit with a lot of power, Sam, is because he stands far away from the plate and he's not big and strong. In order to have power and stand that far from the plate, you usually have to be pretty big, pretty strong, because you're going into the ball and you're reaching for it most of the time.
Larry Kushel, 22 years as a head coach. Up high, so Joe Gray, who did not walk a man, as we said, in the regional in 19 1/3 innings, walked Brett Maine. Runners at first and second, and only one out.
But he also was not facing Brett Maine as much. But here again, he tries to overthrow the ball. That's why his release point is high. He's throwing the ball high.
He now faces Mike Ross, second baseman, and the leading RBI man for Cal State Fullerton.
Doesn't get any easier.
Fastball misses.
For a guy that has a good slider and a good curveball, he's gone exclusively with the fastball to these 3 and 4 hitters of the Cal State Titans. So that's kind of surprising, but maybe he's doing that to surprise them.
Ross has 59 RBIs, 14 home runs. Breaking pitch, foul tip. Took a little off, and Ross was a little bit out in front. One man out, runners at first and second.
We'll get a look at it from the hitter's perspective. Straight over the top, little slider, and Ross fouls it at the plate.
Infield in double play depth for Miami, and they can turn it at short and second. Robles and Trujillo are real quick. 1-1 to Ross. Good block by Dominguez. On the breaking pitch, 2-1. Again, Gray getting behind. 3 straight batters he's been behind. Uncharacteristic. Fastball hit in the air, foul down the right side and fading. Long run for Noriega, and couldn't quite get there. Big ballpark, a lot of room here at Rosenblatt Stadium. 343 down the lines, 370 in the alleys, 420 straightaway center. Count is 2-2, and there is Ron Fraser, 26 years head coach at Miami.
And quite a character.
And everybody pays tribute to him.
And they should. He's done a lot for college baseball.
Fastball got him. Threw it by Mike Ross. Big pitch for Joe Gray. So Ross, who had hit the game-winning home run in the regional championship game, goes down swinging here.
When you're facing a pitcher whose best pitch is supposed to be a slider or a curveball, and he gets 2 strikes on you, unconsciously you start to look for the breaking ball. So Joe Gray throws him the good fastball, and Ross is about a day behind it.
And now, the big home run man, Keith Cobb, 19 home runs this season, 345 batting average, takes down low. 2 men out, 2 men on, top half of the first inning. Outfield deep. Pitch by Gray.
That's what you expect from Joe Gray when he gets behind in the count, to throw the breaking ball and not give in with the fastball.
Keith Cobb standing in against Gray, all-tournament team in the South Regional. Gray misses outside, 2-1. Cobb was 5 for 14. He's hit 7 home runs in his last 13 games. Mannion at second, Maine at first. 2 men out. Fastball up the middle, a base hit. Mannion's got good speed, he'll score. Maine stops at second, it's 1-0. Keith Cobb, not only a big power man, but right back up the middle with that pitch. Cal State Fullerton is on the board.
Well, what happens is Joe Gray is pitching from behind, and he throws a 2-1 fastball down low, and he grounds it right back up the middle. Cal State has a 1-0 lead.
And here's Jim Osborne, the right fielder. Osborne has been a part-time player this season, in at 317. He's replacing Rex Peters, the regular starter for Cal State Fullerton. Fastball over for a strike. Peters was left home in California for disciplinary reasons, and that's all Larry Koshel, the head coach, would say. Not elaborate. That's the story. Fastball hit foul. Rex Peters, a .330 hitter who leads Cal State Fullerton with 57 runs, 41 walks, and left home, so they're leaving a key player back. Ron Graham is the home plate umpire for tonight's game. Bob Jones at first. The crew chief of the umpires here at the World Series, John Bible, in his 6th World Series, is at second, and Rusty Herring is at third. Count is 1-2 on Jim Osborne. Ron Graham, the home plate umpire, is in his 2nd College World Series. He was here last year. Bob Jones at first base in his 1st. John Bible is 6th, as I mentioned, and Rusty Herring in his 1st. Joe Gray pitching 1-2. He swung and missed. Dominguez picks it up and throws to first. The putout goes 2-3. Second strikeout for Gray. The side's retired. 2 hits and a walk, and Cal State Fullerton scores a run. We go to the bottom half of the 1st inning. Miami coming to bat. Let's take a look at their lineup. The lineup for the Miami Hurricanes is brought to you by Wilson, the official ball of the College World Series. The Miami Hurricanes, champions of the Atlantic Regional, are coached by Ron Fraser. In his 26th year, he has 1,068 career wins. This is his 10th College World Series. He's won 2 national championships. Leading off is the shortstop, George Robles, a senior. He's hitting .370 and has reached base in 66 straight games. Batting second, the second baseman, Jose Trujillo, a junior, hitting only .235. He has 51 hits with 20 doubles. Batting third, the left fielder, All-American Mike Fiore. Playing in his 3rd College World Series, he leads Miami in just about every offensive department. He's hitting .404. Batting fourth, the catcher, Frank Dominguez, a senior, second on the team with 53 RBIs. He had 7 RBIs in the regional. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Will Vespi, a junior, hitting .298. He was 6 for 14 in the Atlantic Regional. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Doug DeCock, a senior. He's hitting .286. He hit .357 in the regional with 2 stolen bases. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Ray Noriega, a freshman, hitting .307. He has 61 hits in 58 games. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Rob Word, a junior, hitting .277. He has 59 hits this season. And batting ninth, the center fielder, John Vieira, a junior, hitting .271. He was voted to the all-tournament team in the Atlantic Regional.
And the Titans defense will have Jim Osborne in right field. Bobby Jones will be the center fielder. Greg Mannion will be in left field. Ralph Ramirez will be the third baseman. Mark Rozanuk, Mike Ross will be the second baseman. Keith Cobb will be the first baseman. Brent Main will be the catcher, and the flamboyant Longo Garcia will be on the mound.
Right-hander Longo Garcia, selected to the South Regional All-Tournament team. He's 5'11", 178 pounds, a senior. He played junior college ball at Orange Coast Junior College, and for the 2nd year in a row, voted to the All-Pacific Coast Athletic Association team. Starts him off with a fastball. Last outing was a 5-1 win over Mississippi State in the South Regional. Allowed 1 run, 7 hits, walked 1 and struck out 13. On the ground to Ross at second, and the leadoff man, George Robles, is out. And by the way, the name is Razuk.
I was going to say, let me get that correct before we hit a ground ball to Razuk.
Mark Razuk, the shortstop. Keith Cobb, the first baseman. Brad Kelly, #1 assistant to Ron Fraser, coaches at third. Jim Pizzolato is the first base coach for the Hurricanes. Jose Trujillo steps in, takes down low. Trujillo has struggled at the plate, hitting only .235 this season. When he hits, he gets you a lot of doubles. He's got good speed, 20 doubles on the season. In the South Regional, in the Atlantic Regional, which Miami played a good breaking pitch from Garcia. Trujillo went up to the plate with a graphite bat and was challenged by June Raines of South Carolina, and they took it out of the game. I guess he was looking for something to help him.
Well, I guess if you're hitting that low, you'll try anything. Maybe one of these days they will play with graphite bats. The way I understand it, they don't hit the ball any farther with a graphite bat than you would an aluminum.
Garcia showing a lot of different movement, a lot of different motions.
Well, I think that's the key to his success. He throws from a lot of different angles, and he throws a lot of different speeds of pitches.
season. Breaking pitch on the ground is short.
Hey, boys, look ahead.
Across the Cobb. See, once you got the name right, he said, okay, now you can hit me a ground ball.
I was glad we did that before we hit one to him.
Mark Razuk, the shortstop. 2 men down here in the bottom half of the first inning. Cal State Fullerton leading 1-0. Talk about superstitions, and we'll get to that as far as Longo Garcia is concerned. Here is All-American Mike Fiore. His second straight season hitting over 400. Hit 423 last year, 404 this year. Early in the season, they were pitching around him. They would not throw to him. He was getting a lot of walks, swinging at bad pitches. Settled down and just they started challenging him, and he answered the challenge.
Well, I think it's exceptionally fine batting average for a right-handed hitter, because it's obvious he's not going to get a lot of ground ball choppers that he can beat out on the infield. From the right side, it's tough to get a lot of infield hits. Normally, guys that hit 400, your Robin Venturas and guys like that, are from the left side because they will beat out a few balls that guys dive for.
Garcia ahead 0-2, went with a breaking pitch, missed. 1-2.
I would expect that they would challenge him here in the College World Series as well, because the pitchers that are here feel that they are good enough to be able to get anyone out in any given situation. The coaches may disagree.
Breaking pitch got him. Fine inning for Longo Garcia. 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the first inning. The senior right-hander puts Miami down. We go to the second inning. Game 4 of the College World Series. The Titans of Cal State Fullerton lead it 1-0. The confrontation between Longo Garcia and Mike Fiore ends in Fiore going down swinging. Sam Rosen and Joe Morgan at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. As we start the second inning, lined into the left field by Ralph Ramirez. Fiore is right there, and there's 1 man down. Mike Fiore, he played on the Hurricanes championship team as a freshman in 1985. 4-year starter. He just does it all. Outstanding. 1 man down, and here is Mark Razuk, the shortstop. He's been drafted by the Seattle Mariners. Good fastball by Joe Gray. Gray threw 24 pitches in the first inning. As we mentioned, in his previous 2 starts, he'd thrown 100 and 101. That's a little over 11 pitches an inning, so he was way up. Chopped off the plate. Tough chance for Trujillo. He makes it. 2 quick outs, and that's more Joe Gray. I mean this, Joe. We've seen outstanding second basemen thus far in the series.
Years ago, it was very tough to find good second basemen. Now there are a lot of guys that can not only play it defensively, but they can add something to your offense.
Here's the center fielder, Bobby Jones. 2 men out, top half of the second inning. Ooh. According to the super judge's gun, that was 90 miles an hour.
Well, I said he was throwing a lot harder than I anticipated, because I thought with him having a good slider and a good curve, he wouldn't throw quite as hard, but has a good fastball. I tell you, I like Bobby Jones just to set up in the batting box here. I think that eventually he's going to be a pretty good hitter. He's not hitting as well now, but he's got good balance as a hitter, and he crouches, in my opinion, just enough. He's got a good hitting style.
1-2 pitch. Fastball hit hard. Doug DeCock right there. Makes the play himself. 1-2-3 inning. Joe Gray settles down after a rocky first. Inning and a half gone by. This game between Cal State Fullerton and Miami. The Titans lead it. Near capacity crowd here on the second day of the College World Series. And that means better than 17,000 on hand, because they expanded the seating this year at Rosenblatt Stadium. New grandstand seats, new bleachers down in left field. Ballpark looks good. Real good crowd here. Beautiful day in Omaha, Nebraska, and some good baseball.
College World Series.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Mike Martin yesterday from Florida State. His team's not in the World Series this year, but he's on the committees that make a lot of decisions on how the World Series is run and everything. And I have to say, I think they've done a good job at putting this format together and working with the fact that they had to try to get to one specific date. I think they've done a good job. And I think, as Joe Arnold said, this is not unfair to anyone, but it may help some teams, but definitely it does not hurt anyone. And I think that's as fair as you can get.
Bottom half of the second, Frank Dominguez, the hard-hitting catcher for Miami, takes a breaking pitch outside. 2-0. Longo Garcia threw only 12 pitches in the first inning.
Well, he's trying to catch up now. He's behind 2-0.
Dominguez, second on the team with 53 RBIs this season. Breaking pitch misses. 3-0. 17th start of the season for Longo Garcia. 9-5 record. He's pitched 8 complete games and has 3 shutouts. Time was called. Was within 1 out of his 4th shutout back in mid-April against Nevada, Las Vegas. They had 1-0. A 2-out home run tied it, and he wound up losing it 3-2 in extra innings. Walked Dominguez on 4 straight pitches. First base runner for Miami.
There's Mike Martin, head coach at Florida State University. One of his proteges, Luis Alicea, is now with the St. Louis Cardinals, and from the team he brought here in 1980. What was that, 86 team?
Mike Loyne has been up and down with Texas. I'm sure we're going to see Richie Lewis.
Richie Lewis was with Montreal for a little while.
Here's Will Vespi, the designated hitter. Also fine pitcher. Way out in front. He went around. Strike 1. Vespi has been used as a starting pitcher and is 5-0 this season. Started the season as the right fielder. Ray Noriega has taken over that position. Changeup stays outside. Count of 2-1. Excuse me, 1-1 on Will Vespi.
This is a situation where your double play combination becomes important, because Longo will be trying to get Vespi to hit the ball on the ground so they'd have an opportunity to turn a double play, and as we've mentioned, they have a good double play combination.
Dominguez does not have good speed, not a threat to run. Vespi, a good line drive hitter with occasional power. Goes after that pitch and misses.
We'll get another look at that pitch. This is the type of pitch you want to throw in this situation. Good sinker down and away. Try to get him to hit the ball on the ground. There you see the ball running away, and all Vespi can do is swing over the top of it. If he hits it, he'll hit the top of the ball and get the ground ball for you.
Just got a piece of that. Count remains 1-2. That must feel good on a warm afternoon and tastes good too. Vespi, a junior from Haddonfield, New Jersey. Breaking pitch. Stayed up, but the off speed confused Vespi a little bit.
There's 2 things that happen when you throw a curveball. One is the break will fool you, and the other is the speed will fool you sometimes. You rather fool them with the break more often, because if it just hangs there and you don't fool them with the speed, you're going to be in trouble.
1-2. Fastball, base hit right field. Dominguez turns second but holds. Throw comes back in quickly.
Good job, Ozzy.
From Jim Osborne. Vespi with the first hit for Miami. And the Hurricanes runners at first and second with nobody out. And this is the situation that they really like.
Vespi finally gets a ball in that he can turn on, and you see him turn on it very well, and he drives it into right field. Garcia had been able to keep the ball down and away, and he couldn't turn on it. Wasn't much he could do with it. But that's what a good hitter does. He fights off the pitcher's pitches and then gets a hitter's pitch, and he tries to do something with it. In this case, he moves the runner over to second base with a base hit.
Runners at first and second for Doug DeCock, the first baseman. Squares, bunts it, foul.
This is one of the things that Ron Frazier will do early in the ball game, bunt like this, whereas Larry Koshel said he would not really bunt early in the ball game.
Now it's interesting. You saw DeCock lay the bunt down to the first base side. Normally with runners at first and second, you want to make the third baseman come in. But I guess maybe they're trying to work on the big first baseman.
No, but in that particular instance, the first baseman was not playing in, so it's easy.
Cal State Fullerton. They had made the play on the sacrifice attempt. A good play by Keith Cobb, the first baseman.
Well, as you mentioned, he should be bunting this ball to the third baseman because by now the first baseman is charging and he's there to make the play, and it's easy. He gets a good throw off. But here he should be bunting to third. Easy play for the third baseman. They practice this play all day.
Now Ramirez throwing to the second baseman covering, throws it away. It's an error. And runners at second and third with one man out. And here is freshman Ray Noriega, an outstanding talent who finally worked his way into the lineup. They've been talking about him at Miami for quite a while.
The Titans are going to play the infield back everywhere except third base. The only way they will come to the plate is if it's a ground ball to the third baseman, Ramirez. Everyone else will concede the run. So actually, what Noriega wants to do is hit the ball anywhere but the pitcher and the third baseman. And Miami will be able to tie the ball game.
And what Longo Garcia wants is a strikeout, and he's ahead 0-2 on the count. Noriega, good batting average with men in scoring position with men on. Fastball just missed outside. 1-2.
Just missed. Ron Graham almost went with the right arm there.
Larry Koshel, 22 years as a head coach. Spent 10 years at Oral Roberts. Brought Oral Roberts to the College World Series in 1978. Infield in now on the left side. Cut the outside corner with a breaking ball. That was interesting. They brought the infield in on the left side, and he pitched out of the stretch.
Well, and I guess he was trying to fool the hitter because he throws him a backdoor breaking ball, and a breaking ball you would normally pull. But that's called a backdoor slider or backdoor curveball, whichever you want to say. It starts outside and comes in the back of the plate.
It's also called a wide strike zone.
I didn't want to mention that.
Second and third. Rob Ward, the third baseman, takes a strike.
Because being a hitter, I always thought the umpires had too wide a strike zone.
Cal State Fullerton leading 1-0, bottom half of the second inning. Senior right-hander Longo Garcia trying to work out of the jam. That's a good breaking ball on the corner. Sharp break. Count of 0-2 on Rob Ward.
We'll get a look at the breaking ball here. This is what you can see, the ball spinning. That was very good camera work there.
Over the top, missed outside. 1-2.
You can see the rotation on the ball spinning. If you watch, that's how a hitter knows what the ball's going to do. The stitching will be turning sideways for a slider, down for a curveball, and tumbling for a sinker.
Hit in the air to short center field. Bobby Jones is under it, and Cal State Fullerton gets out of it. Miami put the first two men on. They had second and third with one man out and failed to score as Longo Garcia gets out of the jam. End of 2, game 4 of the College World Series. Cal State Fullerton leading Miami 1-0.
For sports news, turn to the experts. Experts who take you wherever sports happen, whatever time of day. ESPN Sports Center, America's Sports Authority.
For you viewers at home, you'll be able to see what a hitter sees with the pitch coming in. Watch the spin on the ball. You can see this is a slider. See it breaking, the real tight spin. It had a little hole in it, and that's what you can see. At least the guys that can see very well can see that. But that's how you really are able to judge whether this pitch is going to be a fastball, curveball, or slider.
Greg Mannion, the leadoff man, steps in. He singled and scored in the first inning. Opened the ball game. A single on the first pitch to him. Mannion came out of the doghouse to have an outstanding regional. Late in the season, he was benched by Coach Larry Cashel. Failed to run out a fly ball. He was throwing his bat. He was down. He was struggling with his bat. Cashel sat him down late in the season for 5 games. Came back, had an outstanding regional. In a 5-3 12-inning win over Mississippi State. He threw out a runner at the plate in the 8th inning. He robbed one of their hitters of a 2-run homer earlier in the game and then singled and scored the eventual game-winning run in the 12th. Good fastball by Gray.
That's one of the things we've talked about, really, about, you know, a college. It's an education process, and I think it gave him, the young fellow, an opportunity to realize, hey, I have to hustle at all times. That's what this game is made up of. And the coach doing the right thing, disciplined him at the right time. When he showed he was ready to get back in, he gave him the opportunity, and you see what has happened since.
Gray took a little off that pitch. It bounced in the dirt. Mannion is struck out, and again the put out is 2-3. Dominguez to Doug DeCock. 3rd strikeout for Gray.
We'll get another look at this pitch. If we're able to see the rotation on this, you'll see that's an off-speed pitch. There you see it's tumbling straight down. That is an off-speed pitch, a changeup, rather than a tight knit of a slider or a curveball. Good pitch. You guys are doing great with the cameras tonight.
Shane Flores, the designated hitter, steps in. Fastball down low.
Sam, if I could have used those cameras, used the lenses for contact lenses, I might still be playing.
You'd be hitting 400.
Yeah.
Up the middle, Trujillo can't get there. Ground ball single for Shane Flores. 3rd hit for Cal State Fullerton. Ball seems to be skipping through the infield a lot faster than last night, Joe.
Well, I think it is, but infield's dry now. And there you see second baseman Trujillo going over, and he can't get to it. You'll see Robles come through. He can't get to it either. There's more room to hit the ball up the middle for base hits than any other part of the diamond. If you get it past the pitcher, of course.
Here's Brent Maine, who walked in the first inning. Flores does not have good speed. Maine is a good contact hitter, though. Brent Maine has struck out only 14 times in 227 at-bats this season.
That's amazing.
Hit in the air, center field. Going back is John Vieira. Plenty of room. And he puts it away. Best place to have a hitter hit the ball
In the air.
in straightaway center here at Rosenblatt.
You're discussing the fact he'd only struck out 14 times. A good barometer for a guy that doesn't strike out a lot is if he only strikes out 1 every 10 at-bats. And this is far higher than that. His ratio is much better than that. So that shows actually how good a contact hitter he really is.
Mike Ross struck out his first time up. 2 men out and a runner at first. Fastball in the dirt and a good block by Dominguez. That was a tough pitch to handle.
But he did an excellent job. It's a hard breaking ball in the dirt, and Dominguez gets his body in front of it. Well, he's in good catching position there. See, he's able to shift his weight over and get a piece of the ball. Good play. Anytime you have a breaking ball pitcher, you need a good catcher because the object of the breaking ball pitcher is to keep the ball down.
Just inside, 2-0.
And in keeping the ball down, you will bounce some during the ball game.
Joe Gray is the type of pitcher who will get stronger as the game goes on. They got to him for a run in the first. Good fastball. So good movement on that pitch.
I think I see the difference already, Sam. This is a 3rd inning. In the first 2 innings, when he was throwing his fastball, it was basically in the middle of the plate or high. Now he's starting to hit the corners with it, so I see why he gets sharper as the game goes along. Right out there. See, now he's starting to, you can just see the difference. If you look at him now as compared to the first inning, you would see the difference between, you know, why he's more successful later in the ball game. Here's another look at it. Right on the outside corner.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out. Breaking pitch hit in the air to right center field. It's deep. Vieira going back. Noriega there. Vieira makes the catch. Sides retired. 1 out ground ball single by Shane Flores. And he's left stranded. Well, the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Cal State Fullerton ahead of Miami, 1-0. Sam Rosen and Joe Morgan at Rosenblatt Stadium, Cal State Fullerton and Miami. And the Maniac is here from Miami, but he is the official World Series mascot. He's not only the Miami Maniac, he's the World Series Maniac here, and he is great.
But he's still pulling for the Miami Hurricanes. I guarantee that.
Joe Gray threw 24 pitches in the 1st inning alone. Now he has a total of 45, so only 21 pitches over the last 2 innings. That's Joe Gray style.
Right. That's more like the 11, you know, per inning that he's used to throwing.
John Vieira, number 9 in the order, but he was on the all-tournament team in the Atlantic Regional, won by the Miami Hurricanes. They went unbeaten in the regional, beating Towson State 4-0. James Madison 18-8. Georgia Tech 4-2, and clinched it by beating South Carolina 10-3. Good breaking pitch from Longo Garcia.
There's his breaking pitch speed, 70 miles an hour. That was actually a slow curve, I think. And we'll get a look at his fastball here, and we'll see the difference, and then you'll see what a hitter has to adjust to. That's a changeup.
Came up real short with that one.
So there's his changeup speed's about 66 miles an hour. His slow curve speed's about 70.
Vieira's got good speed. If he gets on, Miami could get something going back to the top of the order.
And there's a regular slider that's 72 miles an hour.
Count of 2-1. Longo Garcia in his 2nd year at Cal State Fullerton was 10-5 last year, a junior college transfer. Check swing foul. Count of 2-2. John Vieira, good center fielder. Struggled at the bat at times, though he had a fine regional. On the ground, just foul. This afternoon, the defending national champions, the Stanford Cardinal, defeated Fresno State 10-3. Mark Marquis went with the senior right-hander Lee Plummel, and he pitched an outstanding ball game.
We'll get another look, and maybe we'll see his speed on his fastball. There's a fastball, 87 miles an hour. So he varied from 66 to 87. That's what a hitter has to deal with, a 20-mile-per-hour spread there.
Speed measured by the Super Jugs gun. Count is full on John Vieira, leading off the bottom of the 3rd. Got him.
It's a good breaking ball on 3-2.
3rd strikeout for Longo Garcia.
We'll get another look at it. This one is fooled by the speed, not the break of the ball. It's a slow curve, and as you can see, Vieira is out in front. Watch, you'll see he's out in front of this pitch. Good pitch by Longo.
He loves to throw that breaking ball, not afraid to throw it. 3-2, 3-1. Here's George Robles, the shortstop. Good breaking ball starts him off.
You know what's funny is on the first pitch, the breaking ball doesn't have to be as good as, say, on the 2nd or 3rd pitch. And on a 3-2 pitch, it doesn't have to be quite as sharp.
On the ground to Mike Ross at 2nd.
Boy, Roscoe.
2 men out. Why not, Joe?
Because basically the hitter is looking for a fastball, and the speed will fool him alone. You don't need the break nearly as much. That's why you see a lot of pitchers in the major leagues now going to what they call a dead fish fastball. When they get the guy looking fastball, for instance 2-0 or something, they'll throw a fastball, but it's only like a batting practice fastball, and the speed fools them because the guy's looking for a fastball and he's trying to get out in front. That's what happens on the first pitch, and normally on a 3-2 count you figure the hitter figures he's going to get a fastball.
Trujillo asked for time and got it just as Garcia was about to start his motion. 2 men out in the bottom of the third. Cal State Fullerton leading 1-0. Fastball line down the left field line, a base hit, and Trujillo with good speed. Nice play by Mannion. The throw in, and Trujillo is safe. He went in standing. Oh, he got away with a bad base running play.
That's what drives coaches crazy. And I'm sure the coach at first base was telling him, you got to hustle, you got to hustle. We'll get another look at it as he comes around first base.
And he should be able to pick it up here.
Right, he can see in front of him. Mannion makes the throw in, makes a good play, and only because the second baseman didn't know exactly where he was that he was able to be safe. I guarantee you, if Ross knew exactly where his foot was and put a quick tag on him, he would have had it.
I agree. 2-out double for Jose Trujillo. Here's Mike Fiore. Lines it. Fair ball down the right field line. Trujillo will score. Fiore's on his way to second. Miami has tied it. 2 out. Back-to-back doubles by Trujillo and Fiore. The All-American Mike Fiore comes through with his 22nd double of the year and his 83rd RBI.
What we see here is Longo trying to fool Mike Fiore. He struck him out with breaking balls the first time up, so he's going to sneak the fastball by him to try to get out in front. But good hitters look for the fastball and fight off the other stuff, or look for the fastball and adjust to the breaking ball. See here, he throws him a fastball. He was trying to get ahead. Fiore is a little late on it, but a good hitter that he is, he's able to drive the ball the other way, and there you see Trujillo coming in to score.
Fiore hits the ball hard, and he hits the ball well to all fields. Here's Frank Dominguez. Breaking pitch stays high, so Miami has tied it up with 2 men out. Trujillo hit the ball hard. Almost cost them the rally with some careless base running. Fiore picked him up with a double.
As they say, baseball's a game of inches. He was safe by an inch at second base, and they have a run because of it. If he was an inch later, the inning would have been over.
Maybe Trujillo thought that the ball had gone through to the wall and that it would be an easy double, but I thought he would have picked up the relay coming in.
Well, I'm sure that the first base coach tells him when he rounds the bag, you have to go.
Breaking pitch stays inside. 3-0 to Dominguez. Career record for RBIs just set by Mike Fiore. 235. What a career it's been for Mike Fiore. Fastball. He swung away 3-0, and it's through for a base hit. Fiore being waved around. Jones with a throw to the plate. It's offline, and Miami leads 2-1. Dominguez goes to second. Ron Fraser turned him loose on 3-0, and he drives in Fiore with a single.
There are a couple of things that happen when you let your hitters hit 3-0. It makes them more aggressive, first of all, and secondly, a lot of infielders unconsciously think you're going to take, and they're not always ready. And as you see here, Razuk tries to knock it down, keep it on the infield, but he was a little short. But a lot of times, 3-0, you're not quite ready mentally.
Here's Will Vespi, and he fouls it off. 2-out rally for Miami.
But we also might add that that was not a good play by the center fielder, Bobby Jones, because he had no chance of getting Fiore at the plate with 2 outs on a ground ball up the middle. He should have thrown to second base, and that would have kept Dominguez out of scoring position.
Not only throwing home, but throwing too high for the cutoff man to make any kind of play on it. Vespi takes the changeup down low. 2 men out. Doubles by Trujillo and Fiore. Single by Dominguez. He moves up on the throw to the plate. Miami leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. Good breaking pitch from Garcia. Count is 1-2 as Larry Kershaw looks on. Started his coaching career at Emporia State in Kansas. Went to Cal State Los Angeles. Oral Roberts 1 year at Northwestern. Good fastball. Missed. Woo.
Longo is wondering where it missed.
2-2 with 2 men out. 2 runs in for Miami here in the third. Go to the top half of the fourth inning, and Miami leading Cal State Fullerton 2-1. The Hurricanes 4 straight in the Atlantic Regional. Joe Gray won 2 and he saved 1. He was the MVP of the tournament. Cal State Fullerton went to Starkville, Mississippi to play in the South Regional. Beat Missouri 6-3. Beat Mississippi State twice, 5-1 and 5-3. Not easy to do down in Starkville, and then won it by coming from behind to beat Texas A&M 6-3. They were down 3-0 in the 8th when this man Keith Cobb hit a home run, got him going. They had 1 on and 2 out in the bottom of the 9th and came through to score 5 runs and won it 6-3 over Texas A&M. Joe Gray, good pitch in on the hands on Cobb, is ahead 0-2 on the count. Look at the Hurricanes bench.
That's kind of interesting, Sam, because they're all up out in the open. I guess that's showing a little enthusiasm.
Fastball up and away.
But then again, the coaches are never in the coaches' boxes. So I guess the players shouldn't have to sit in the dugout.
Gray ahead on the count 1-2. Fastball misses inside. He's moving the ball around a lot on Cobb. 19 home runs for Big Keith Cobb, second team all conference in the Pacific Coast Athletic Association. Cal State Fullerton gave Fresno State a run for the conference championship. Hit foul, but then lost late in the season, swept by Fresno State in a 3-game series.
Well, Fresno State, at the latter part of the season, they looked like the best team in the world, you know, and all of a sudden they had a few problems down the stretch. They gathered themselves back up, and they're here in the College World Series, but they do not look like the same team I saw earlier in the season when they had won about 27 in a row.
Fastball misses inside. Maybe their pitching is slowed down or tired, Joe, because in the West 2 Regional, Southern Cal scored a lot of runs against them.
Southern Cal's an interesting team, though. They could score a lot of runs. They had a great speed, and they had some good hitters. They were capable of scoring a lot of runs. Their pitching was a little short.
On the ground to Doug DeCock. Makes the play. 1 man down. Doug DeCock took over at first base from Henry Hernandez, a good fielder who did not hit well at all. And DeCock with a good bat in the lineup. He's played first base very well. He's a good catcher, too. 1 man down here in the top half of the 4th inning. And here's Jim Osborne, the right fielder. Osborne's a man who tends to strike out a lot. That strikeout for him was his 34th in 102 at-bats this season.
There's a big difference between 14 and 31, and the other guy had 4 times more at-bats or something. That's a big difference. You know, it's 2 theories of thought on strikeouts, though, Sam. There are some hitting coaches who will tell you, if you make an out, what difference does it make? If you're just protecting with 2 strikes and not really attacking the ball. By that I mean just standing in the batter's box, making contact, putting the ball in play, not having a good swing. They say you should still have a good swing, because if you hit it, you want to drive it so that you can get a base hit. And then there are other people who say, well, if you're hitting 300, which gives you 3 hits out of every 10, if you make contact 10 more times, you get 3 more hits. So there are different schools of thought on the strikeout. I personally believe you should put the ball in play.
I agree.
But there are a lot of coaches who will tell you, I do not want you to cut down on your swing just to make contact with the ball. So they're like everything else in baseball, there are different theories.
Line up the middle, a base hit for Jim Osborne. On a 2-1 pitch, Osborne with a 1-out single to center. 5th hit Make that the 4th hit of the ball game for Cal State Fullerton. All singles. And here is Ralph Ramirez, the third baseman. The line to left field. Ramirez came into the game hitting .346. Fastball foul. Cal State Fullerton, a team that'll usually play station to station, won't put the runners in motion too often.
They're from the Earl Weaver School of Baseball. Good pitching, good defense, and 3-run homers. They play for the big inning.
That works pretty well.
Yeah, it will work.
Good fastball from Joe Gray. Foul tip. Gray ahead on the count, 0-2.
We'll get a look at it, and it's back to what I was telling you. Now he's starting to spot the ball. There you see that's a good fastball on the inside corner, and that ties Ramirez up. He has no chance. Now he comes back down and away with a good curveball, a good breaking ball. That's good pitching.
Ahead on the count, 0-2 with one man out. Ramirez was outstanding in the South region. California teams playing in the College World Series. Almost was 5. Pepperdine was in the winner's side in the West 1 regional. Arizona State had to knock them off twice to get here. Good fastball on the ground. Trujillo with a dive knocks it down, but can't make a play. It's a base hit for Ralph Ramirez. Runners at first and second, and Trujillo is up limping. Oh boy. Trujillo dove for the ball and came up limping.
We'll get another look at it here. Trujillo breaks to his left in the hole.
And Trujillo trying to walk it off here. I don't know if it's his right knee. No one's come out of the dugout to check him out.
Ron Frazier's from the old school. Say, hey, throw a little dirt on it. Let's go.
Gets up. Well, let's see. Right there, right ankle.
Yeah, it twisted his ankle. I guess it's still a little damp out in the outfield.
So now runners at first and second for Cal State Fullerton on the back-to-back singles by Osborne and Ramirez. And Mark Razuk, the shortstop, is up.
At first I thought he had those all-purpose shoes on, but he does have spikes on, as we could see there.
In the dirt, and a good play by Dominguez again. Dominguez looking into Brad Kelly, the pitching coach. Runners at first and second with one man out. Miami defense is up, looking for two. Ground to third. Word to Trujillo. One on to first. They got the double play and they're out of the inning. Rob Word started it. Trujillo with the twisted ankle and all made the pivot, and they turned over the double play to get out of the jam. 2 hits for Cal State Fullerton, but they leave a runner on as Razuk hits into the double play. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Here's the DP to end the inning.
Sharp ground ball to Rob Word. He comes up with it, makes a good accurate throw to Trujillo. Over to DeCock, and that'll do it. That's a fine 5-4-3 double play.
Miami known for making things happen offensively, playing some good defense. With Trujillo and Robles up the middle, Word is a real good defensive third baseman. Bottom of the 4th. Doug DeCock, who bunted with runners at first and second last time up. They got a force at third, but then there was a wild throw to first in attempting to double them up. And the end result, Miami had second and third with only one out, but Garcia pitched out of it. Good fastball. Count of 1-2.
When he falls off to the left side a lot and throws the fastball a little sidearm, it really tails back over the outside part of the plate. There's a good slider down and away.
Fastball got him. Fourth strikeout for Longo Garcia.
This is kind of a sidearm fastball, but he keeps the ball down. Well, it's more 3/4, but he gets a good low fastball, and the cock could not handle it.
Here's Ray Noriega. Noriega was up with runners at second and third back in the second inning and struck out. And word flied out to end the threat. Miami scored their 2 runs in the bottom of the third with 2 men out.
It's a good slow curveball there from Garcia.
Longo mixes it up very well. Noriega came to Miami as a pitcher in high school, pitcher and shortstop, playing him in the outfield. He's done a fine job.
I think, that doesn't surprise me because, normally when you're a young age, your pitchers are your better athletes on the team anyway. And they're capable of playing just about any place. I think the one thing that surprises me is that Brian Johnson from Stanford is not a pitcher. He's a quarterback for the Stanford Cardinal football team.
Noriega went after the slow breaking pitch.
And then again, I guess Pete at USC is also a third baseman rather than a pitcher.
Rodney Pete?
Rodney Pete. I had my golf swing on there for a second.
Fastball hit foul. Tomorrow's doubleheader will be a loser's bracket game and a winner's bracket game. California and Florida, one of those 2 teams will go home. They'll play at 5 o'clock. Breaking pitch misses. Count is full on Ray Noriega. And then a winner's bracket game at 8 o'clock, Wichita State and Arizona State. In the dirt, Noriega works the walk. Second walk given up by Longo Garcia. Good control pitcher. Walked only 1 in his win over Mississippi State, a 5-1 win. Struck out 13 in that game. Here's Rob Word. Rob Word is from Texas. Has only 1 year of eligibility. This is it for him. I'll have to find another third baseman at Miami. Garcia with a quick step off. Noriega with good speed has stolen 16 bases. And he's going. Throw down. Not in time. Throw a little bit in the dirt. Razuk couldn't handle it. And Noriega with his 17th steal. So Ron Fraser putting him in motion right away on the first pitch.
And actually he had a good jump because Longo didn't really hold him. And there you see the shortstop's covering with the second baseman backing him up, which is the way the play is supposed to go. There you see Noriega. Razuk is the covering. If the ball would have gotten away.
Noriega on the slide. And scraped his left hand a little bit. It's being checked out by the trainer. And Brad Kelly, the third base coach, Ron Fraser even came out. Now you see Trujillo, no one went out to him at all. Noriega, they're all running out to him. What is this? A little favoritism here.
Maybe Trujillo has done that before. You cry wolf too often and pretty soon they don't listen to you.
No, Noriega's a freshman. They want to take care of that commodity. 0-1 the count on Rob Word. Good breaking ball. 1 man out, runner at It's second for Miami. The Hurricanes leading 2-1. We're in the bottom half of the fourth inning.
I want to bring up a point. I don't think Garcia gave Brett Maine a good shot at throwing Noriega out then, because he didn't hold him very well, and Maine had to hurry his throw. Consequently, threw it low.
Way outside, gets away from Maine, and on to third goes Noriega. That time he didn't give Maine a shot to catch the ball. Way outside.
Well, he throws a breaking ball, and it doesn't even start over the plate. It's way outside. And we'll get a look at it here. You'll see Maine is set up. He tries to get out there, but he can't. Ball gets away. Noriega goes over to third. Now they're at third and one down.
Infield in for Cal State Fullerton. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Word strikes out on the breaking ball. So Miami had no chance to take advantage of the runner at third with less than 2 men out situation. They're now 2 men down.
We get another look at it here. Good breaking ball, sidearm breaking ball, and it really fools Vieira.
5 strikeouts for Longo Garcia. And John Vieira steps in.
I'm sorry, that was Rob Word that struck out.
That breaking ball blocked by Maine.
This is the real danger when you have the runner at third base, because now the tendency is not to throw it as sharply and make it break so sharp, and you end up hanging the breaking ball, and then the hitter can drive it someplace.
Vieira struck out leading off the third. There's a good breaking pitch. Longo keeps throwing them.
Well, I think he has to continue to throw them because that's his out pitch, and he has a runner at third, so he wants to make sure the hitter does not get a base hit. But there's always that danger of bouncing one.
Noriega with good speed at third. On the ground, wide of first, and through for a base hit. The first baseman had broken to his left. He had moved to his left and got a bad jump. Keith Cobb was moving to his left as the ball was hit. Noriega scores, and Miami leads 3-1.
And I don't know what happened there. He started left for some reason, and the ball was hit to his right. Unless he did not see it off the bat, that ball should not have gone through the infield. There you see Noriega is his lead at third. He goes on the ground ball. Now he sees it go through. Another run for Miami.
And what you would call a typical Miami run. A walk, a stolen base, a wild pitch, and a ground ball break on the single. That throw hits the runner. Vieira's looking for it. Has trouble getting back to first base against big Keith Cobb, who's having all kinds of problems right now.
Here's the throw. Garcia throws it first. It hits Vieira in the back. He doesn't know where it is, and Cobb's trying to get it and go back to who's on first here.
2 men out, top of the order, George Robles, who handles the bat very well.
The funny thing is, I think Garcia's a little late. He should have thrown over there when Noriega was on first base.
Pitch out, nothing going on. Vieira with good speed. You saw his numbers. 15 stolen bases and 18 tries. George Robles, it's quite a streak on the line. He has gotten on base in 66 consecutive games. He's 0 for 2 thus far in this ball game. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Miami with a 3-1 lead on Cal State Fullerton.
I think he's aware of that statistic too, because that's why he tried to bunt there with 2 outs. That's not your normal play.
Vieira with a good lead. Fastball up high. 2-0 the count.
Good thing he was not in the American League. That was a balk. He didn't stop at all there.
We have not seen a balk call.
That was as close as you're going to get there. He didn't stop.
Stopped that time. lead. Breaking ball over. Count of 2-1. And now everyone looking for signs. Ron Fraser flashing them from the dugout to Brad Kelly, the third base coach. Flashes them on. Robles and Vieira. Garcia's looking for his sign from Brent Maine. Throw to first. Close.
He had him leaning, but he does not get very much on the throw when he throws quickly to first base. You see Vieira takes his lead, and he was fooled a little bit, but the throw does not get there very quickly. He threw it a little harder then. But he doesn't get nearly as much on the throw as you'd like for a pitcher to get on it when he throws to first base on an attempted pickoff.
Vieira's going. Pitch taken for a strike. The throw down is not in time. Maine hesitated on the throw.
He double pumped, and by the time he threw, there was no chance to get Vieira.
That time, Garcia didn't stop again. He got rid of the ball very quickly to the plate, and he gave Maine a good shot at throwing him out. We'll get another look at it here. Good pitch to throw on, too. I guess he hesitated not because he didn't have the ball. He was looking for the runner for some reason. I guess maybe he thought the runner was going back to first because he did not double hitch.
Curveball misses, and the count is full on George Robles. 2 men out. Miami with a run in, leading 3-1. Two stolen bases in the game for Miami. Hit on the ground is short. Backhanded by Razuk. The throw across in the dirt, but picked nicely by Keith Cobb. Sides retired. But Miami scores a run. A walk, a stolen base, a wild pitch, and a ground ball single. And the Hurricanes have a 3-1 lead on the Titans of Cal State Fullerton as we go to the 5th. Ray Noriega scored the run. Auto racing live tomorrow afternoon here on ESPN at noon Eastern Time from Dover Downs International Speedway in Dover, Delaware. NASCAR Budweiser 500. We'll have doubleheader College World Series action for you. There'll be more cotton candy to be eaten. Right here, a drive deep left center field, and going one bounce up against the fence. Bobby Jones on his way around second. He's going to try for 3. Here's the throw, and he's out. And a mistake by Bobby Jones. Down 2 runs. Why try for 3, Joe?
Well, I was trying to see if the coach was calling him. Obviously, Bobby Jones thought he could make it. But it was actually a very good relay, 2 good throws. The outfielder hit the shortstop, and he made a very strong and accurate throw to third base, and he was out really by a long shot. We'll get another look at it here. He really hits the ball hard in the left center field. There you see the ball goes all the way to the fence. Vieira picks it up, makes a good throw back in, over to third, and he's out.
Good relay by the Hurricanes.
Nice tag by Rob at third, too. Word made a good tag.
A double for Jones, and he's thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. Here's Greg Mannion, the leadoff man. Count is 2-0. Mannion singled and scored in the first inning, struck out in the third. On that play, Joe, if you think it's going to be close, you just can't try to stretch it. There's no reason to down 2 runs.
Well, the old adage is you do not make the first or the last out at third base. That's the way it should be. The first out of an inning or the last out of an inning should not be made at third base.
6 hits for Cal State Fullerton against Joe Gray. That was the first extra base hit. A little off that pitch.
We'll get another look at it here. Here's the throw in. Now watch the third base coach. There's a tag. He's called out, and he kind of drops his head like to say, well, maybe I made a mistake. He might have called him. I could not see.
The Mannion walks right here, and that is the second walk given up by Joe Gray. The relay throw was from Trujillo, and Miami likes Trujillo to go out and make those relay throws because he has a tremendous arm. And I thought,
good
accurate. I think he showed it there.
Yeah, very strong and accurate throw.
first with one man out here in the 5th inning. Mannion's got good speed. The man who can handle the bat, Shane Flores, steps in. He singled his last time, takes a fastball for a strike. Looking for 2 for Miami as Gray throws over.
I think it's the mistakes like that can really hurt you in a ball game, a close ball game. And I think we saw that with the University of California against Arizona State in the first ball game. They made base running mistakes can kill you.
On the inside corner. Joe Gray last year won 6. Up high, 1-2. Miami did not play in the World Series last year. On the ground over the head of the pitcher. Robles steps on second just in time. He hesitated. He thought about flipping it to Trujillo and then realized he was very close to the bag and made the play himself for the force.
You're exactly right. He was going to flip it to Trujillo, but he saw he didn't really have enough time to do it that way. So he took it the proper way. There you see it's a chopper over the mound. And there Robles makes the play himself. You see he starts to flip it and then he realizes he's a little too close, so he reacts and makes a good play.
And a good trade for Miami. Mannion, the man with better speed, has taken off the bases. Shane Flores is the runner at first, and here's Brent Maine. Maine walked and fly to center. 2 men out for Cal State Fullerton here in the top half of the 5th inning. Center, a base hit. Flores around second, will try for third. Vieira's throw is there, and Flores sliding in safely.
I see. That's the way Cal State Fullerton likes to play. They're very aggressive base runners, and even there it was questionable because if he gets thrown out at third, to make 2 outs in the same inning at third would be tragic. All right, here we go. The base hit in the right center field. Nice attempt by Trujillo. He's not able to come up with it. Vieira is going to make a strong throw. Actually, he hesitates for a split second there. Makes a strong throw, but it's a little bit offline. And they have runners at first and third.
So how big is that leadoff double by Bobby Jones getting thrown out at third? This could have been a big inning for Cal State Fullerton. Right now it's 2 outs, runners at first and third. Ross lines it deep to right field. Noriega won't get there. It'll go to the wall. 1 run is in. Around third, they're waving him. No, they're holding him up.
He was waving him. You called it, but he stopped on his own. I was watching that time. The third base coach was telling him to come ahead.
A double for Mike Ross. Drives in 1. Brent Maine holds at third. Here's Maine, and they're waving him. You just saw the coach go by in your screen waving his arm.
Right, he was waving him. I saw him, then he stops. I don't know why he stopped, but the coach was waving him. And it probably would have been a close play at the plate.
Well, the coach went way down the line. Perhaps he changed the wave to a stop sign when he went way down the line.
Let's hope so. There you see they're talking at third, trying to get their signs together. See, let's see if we can see what he's explaining. He's saying he saw the ball, but I think the coach was really waving him, Sam. The last I saw was another wave, and I did see him down the line here, but here again, it might have worked out for the best.
It's Dennis Rogers. Brad Kelly, the pitching coach, has gone out to talk to Joe Gray. Cal State Fullerton with 3 hits here in the top half of the 5th inning. Scored 1. Runners at second and third. The play at third on the opening double has really hurt Cal State Fullerton. As Bobby Jones tried to stretch a double into a triple, he was thrown out at third. Keith Cobb is up. And the conference was how to pitch to Cobb. runners at second and third. He singled and grounded to first.
It's a good curveball on the outside corner.
3-2, Miami leading it. Cal State Fullerton threatening to go ahead. A base hit. Good score, too. Mike Ross, who doubled. It was his 60th RBI of the season. He leads Cal State Fullerton.
Good hit in second baseman.
They're doing it. Brent Main, the runner at third. Mike Ross, the runner at second, with 2 men out. Count 0-2. Just outside. Cobb singled and drove in a run in the first inning. Fastball up high. Looked like he overthrew that pitch.
Well, he dropped his arm down a little bit, which made him release it high, but he was trying to get a little more on it, so he did try to overthrow it, but the real reason was his arm dropped down a little bit. But it wasn't a bad pitch. Now he set him up for a breaking ball away because he threw a good high fastball on the inside part of the plate. And that's where they're set up. But he didn't get it away. He got that curveball right in the middle of the plate, so he got away with one there.
Dangerous spot. It's dusk here in Omaha. Is this a real tough time to hit, Joe?
Well, I don't think it is here as much as some other places where there's sunlight out there a little bit. It's dark enough, but the lights have not taken complete hold yet. This shouldn't be too bad.
2-2 to Cobb. Hit deep to left field. Way back. Fiore going back to the fence. If it stays fair, it's gone, and it is. A home run for Keith Cobb. A 3-run homer, and Cal State Fullerton has taken a 5-3 lead. For Keith Cobb, and the Titans surround him at home plate.
There you see Joe Gray talking to his catcher, Frank Dominguez. Actually, what happened was he hung the breaking ball a pitch before, so they tried to come back inside with a fastball, and they were not able to get it in. Cobb was ready for it, and he got good wood on it and hit it out of here. We'll see here. He's set up outside and low, but he wants to throw it fastball down the way. He gets the fastball up and in, and the big fella turns on it.
4 runs in for Cal State Fullerton. Gray watches it high and deep to left field, hoping that it'll stay in the ballpark, but it doesn't. There's Jim Osborne fouling off the first pitch. 5-3, the Titans of Cal State Fullerton have taken the lead. And there's the big guy, Keith Cobb.
I tell you something, Sam, that shows how good a team Cal State Fullerton really is. They made a mistake the first hitter in this inning, but they kept plugging away, kept battling, and with 2 outs here, they've taken the lead. A lot of times when a guy makes a mistake like that, especially when you're trailing in the ball game, your team gets down a little bit. These guys did not.
Fastball hit on the ground past Trujillo. Base hit for Osborne. 10 hits for Cal State Fullerton off Joe Gray. We're still only in the 5th inning. And 4 straight hits since that force out at second base. A single by Main, a double by Ross, the homer by Cobb, and now Osborne with a base hit. 5 hits in this inning for the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, plus a walk. Breaking ball. Gray has only gotten 1 out on the ground ball.
We get a look at Trujillo, the second baseman. He gets a good break on the ball, but he could not get to it.
Ralph Ramirez hits it on the ground to Robles at short. Throw to second just in time. Trujillo makes like a first baseman with a long stretch to get the final out. But the Titans of Cal State Fullerton come alive for 4 runs in the top half of the 5th inning. And they've taken a 5-3 lead here in Game 4 of the College World Series as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Keith Cobb with a team-leading 20 home runs. A 3-run homer to put the Titans on top.
Miami was on its way to the national championship, and Rusty DeVoe was a surprise starter in Game 3. Up in the air to right field. Cook goes back to the warning track. The ball carries out of the ballpark. A home run for Rusty DeVoe. Runner goes from first in the air to right field. Back goes Cook to the warning track. That ball is gone. Another home run for Rusty DeVoe. Surprise starter, made the most of it. Couple of home runs, led Miami to a win over Stanford. One of the heroes of the 1985 College World Series for Miami. Bottom of the 5th here, and Jose Trujillo leads off. Trujillo had a 2-out double in the 3rd inning. It got Miami's 2-run rally started. Hits it hard to short. Razuk is there. Nice play by the shortstop. 1 man down.
And also, I think we see a little more pep in Longo Garcia now. I think this is a key inning for him. We'll see what that rally does for his personality here. I think it'll hype him up a little bit more, and I think he'll go after the hitters a little more, and you'll see something. Here we see Razuk. He stays down on the ball. Tough hop. Stays down, makes a good throw to first base.
Mike Fiore doubled in a run and then scored. And Dominguez singled him home back in the 3rd. Fiore and Garcia were teammates on the Pan Am team. Take a look at some of the numbers for Mike Fiore in his career at Miami. And on and on. One of the all-time greats to play for the Miami Hurricanes. In the dirt. Fiore was on the U.S. team that played in the Pan Am games last year, and Garcia was too. Garcia did not pitch, though. Count of 2-0. Fiore has walked 66 times this season. Took a little off, hits it hard, off the glove of the 3rd baseman Ramirez. And again, Fiore waiting on that changeup and hit it hard.
I mean, that's a good piece of hitting, and I mean, you can only gauge how hard that ball was hit just by the way the 3rd baseman reacted. He didn't really have time. Ramirez really didn't have much time to react to the ball.
Fiore on. 1 man out. And Frank Dominguez steps in. Scorer on that shot. I would say that would be a base hit. Pitch in the dirt, blocked by Maine. I thought it was really hit hard. And Lou Spry, the official scorer, puts up the H sign. It is a base hit. 2nd hit for Fiore, and the 6th hit in the game for Miami. Dominguez, a dangerous man. He's got power. He's hit 8 home runs this season.
Sam, I'm going to have to talk to Lou. He didn't take that long last year on Robin Ventura's base hit or error.
Curveball hit in the air. Short right center field. Bobby Jones going over and puts it away.
Man down. And the bottom of the 5th. Will Vespi step in? Vespi singled his first time up and then grounded to short his 2nd time up. Line drive hitter. Missed about a month with an injury. Has pitched well for Miami. Pretty good right fielder. Noriega's taken over that spot. Vespi stays in the lineup as the DH. Delayed steal by Fiore, and he's out. Brent Maine didn't go for it. Razuk was over to cover, and on the delayed steal, despite being down 2 runs, Miami trying to make things happen. Fiore is thrown out.
We'll get another look at it here. Dominguez, Maine comes up, fires.
The ball is there,
already there.
Fiore. Here it is again. So Miami gets a hit, but Fiore is caught stealing. End of 5. Cal State Fullerton leads it. Ah, yes. Happy fan. Maybe someday he'll be playing in the College World Series. Joe Gray pitching upstairs to Mark Razuk. Leading off in the top half of the 6th inning. Cal State Fullerton sent 8 men to the plate in the 5th. Scored 4 runs, fouled off his foot. They really hit the ball well.
Well, they hit the ball well from the first hitter to the inning through the last hitter, but I just think that they're trying to be aggressive, maybe a little overly aggressive on the bases, but actually when the coach stopped the foul ball.
Is that a foul, Joe? Or did he swing at a pitch that bounced on the plate?
Well, I hope it was a foul ball. We'll get another look at it here. I think
that
you're
bounced
right.
on the plate.
I think it hit the front of the plate and bounced away.
1-2. Razuk lines it foul on the right side. Don't forget, doubleheader tomorrow, doubleheader Monday, doubleheader Tuesday. Single games Wednesday and Thursday in our coverage of the College World Series. Slider, check swing grounder. Doug DeCock is there. Leads Gray to the bag. 1 man out. College World Series for Cal State Fullerton. Either they go out early or they stay around for a long time. Those 2 national championships in '79 and '84 came under Augie Garrido, and this man has handled taking over for Augie Garrido very well. Augie Garrido coached at Cal State Fullerton for 15 years, took him into Division I. Titans started playing Division I baseball in 1975, and Larry Kushel said, hey, I'm not Augie Garrido, I'm totally different, but he has built a fine program here, and I'm maintaining it.
Well, he's made a very good statement, and that was he tried to start the program from scratch in Oral Roberts. He said that's awfully tough, and he had some success there, but it was very tough to do. He said here he came into a program that was already established, and his job is to maintain it, and he's done an excellent job at doing that. He said at this stage of his career, this is what he wants to do, maintain.
Bobby Jones, who doubled his last time up, went after a high fastball and goes down swinging. 2 men out. 4 strikeouts for Joe Gray. And back to the top of the order for Greg Mannion. Mannion walked and got things going. Actually, Jones had gotten things going with a double, but was thrown out trying to stretch it to a triple. Then Mannion walked. Mannion was forced at second. There were 2 men out and a man at first. And suddenly the hits started flying off the bats. A single by Maine, a double by Ross, a homer by Cobb. Cal State Fullerton had 4 runs. 2-0 on Greg Mannion. Improved pitching by Miami brought them back to the World Series. Good fastball in the inside corner, led by this man, Joe Gray. 13-4. Miami did not play in the World Series last year. The year before, they finished 3rd to Arizona. Jerry Kindle's Arizona Wildcats won the championship in 1986. Hurricanes won the championship in '85. On the ground to short. Robles takes the big hop and almost threw it away. Good stretch going up by Doug DeCock. Sides retired. 1-2-3 inning for Joe Gray. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. Bottom half of the 6th inning here in Game 4 of the College World Series, with Cal State Fullerton leading Miami 5-3. Robles making the play at short. What does the well-dressed fan wear to the ballpark? U of M coveralls, U of M t-shirt, and a Miami Hurricanes baseball cap, and paint U and M on your cheeks. Go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Miami trailing 5-3. Will Vesby was at the plate when Mike Fiore was out, trying to steal on the delayed steal to win the bottom half of the 5th inning. Here's Mike Fiore.
One of the things that Ron Frazier said about this ball club is they were a good unit. They worked well together. They were not a bunch of individuals playing as a team. They had a true team concept. They all liked each other, and they got along well. He said he thinks that's one of the main reasons they've advanced so far this year.
Change up in the dirt. Count of 2-1. See the change.
And he threw a 66-mile-an-hour changeup earlier, so his changeup is approximately the same speed.
There's the breaking ball, missed again. He's behind 3-1 to Vesby. The Jug Super Gun clocking the speed of the pitches.
And he's been pretty consistent with them. The changeup was approximately the same, and the curveball was approximately the same.
Vesby asked for time and didn't get it. Right down the middle. Vesby stepped out. If the umpire does not give you time, you don't have it. He stepped out and took a strike right down the middle.
You only request a timeout. The umpire is the only one that can call timeout.
There you go, Wilbur.
And you have to give Garcia credit. He realizes that and throws a strike.
3-2 pitch it to center field. Bobby Jones right there. 1 man out. Ron Graham is the home plate umpire. And he said, sorry. Pitcher was starting his windup. You can't step out on him. Ron Graham from Clarkston, Michigan, in his first College World Series. Doug DeCock, the batter, swinging at a breaking pitch. He's 0 for 2 thus far. Struck out his last time up. Good velocity on that pitch. Boy, Garcia just steps right back on the mound. He's ready to pitch as soon as that ball comes back from the catcher.
Well, I think it helps his team defensively as well. They're already prepared.
Breaking pitch hit high in the air, short left field. Razuk, the shortstop, calls off the third baseman Ramirez and makes the catch. Good play by Razuk. He took charge right away.
Well, he has a better angle on the ball than the third baseman when the ball's hit directly over your head. The same thing at first base when the ball's hit directly over the first baseman's head. The second baseman can get a good angle on it. I don't know if they're University of Miami fans or not, but here you see Razuk take charge, as you mentioned. It's a much easier play for him, although he made it a little tough to watch. He almost comes out of there.
2 men out. And here's Ray Noriega, the freshman right fielder. Struck out his first time up, walked and scored. Last time up, swings and misses here. Cal State Fullerton leading Miami 5-3. Titans got the big inning that they like to play for with 4 runs in the 5th inning. Good breaking pitch. Nice change of speeds there by Longo Garcia. See him just move right back up. Takes 2 steps right back to the mound. Doesn't walk around the mound. Just gets right back on there. He's ready. Noriega slowing him down at the plate. And stays outside. And I guess if you're a hitter, that's what you have to do with a pitcher like that, is just try and get him out of his rhythm.
I'll take my word for it. Our colleague Jim Cotton, I used to have a lot of battles. I couldn't get my time to flex my arm. Cotton was trying to throw the ball. I have to step out just to get time. So you do have to slow the pitcher down to your pace.
Got him. Pitch in the dirt. Maine makes the throw down to Cobb. Sides retired. Strikeout number 6 for Longo Garcia as he puts the Hurricanes down in the 6th. We go to the bottom, to the top of the 7th. Joe Gray out to start the top half of the 7th inning. He's thrown 100 pitches. Now his last 2 starts, he threw 100 pitches and 101 in complete games. So they've made him work a little more in this one. Given up 10 hits, walked 2 and struck out 4 as we go to the 7th inning. Number 2 man in the order, Shane Flores, designated hitter, pops it up. Off to the side of the plate. Dominguez calling for it. Makes the play. It was way up there. Dominguez stayed with it well.
And that's not an easy play for a catcher. Catcher's used to the ball being popped up directly behind him, and then he can throw the mask off and the ball will come back to him. Here he has to chase the ball down before it comes back. Nice play by Dominguez.
One man out in the top of the 7th. And here's Brent Maine. And a big base hit to get the uprising going in the 5th inning. 2 outs and a man on first. Maine singled. Mike Ross doubled in a run, and Keith Cobb hit a 3-run homer.
It's the middle of that lineup doing most of the damage there, and that's what you want. Second, third, fourth hitter scored the 4 runs.
Maine 1 for 2. He walked back in the 1st inning. Fastball right down the middle. Maine has now hit in 39 of his last 40 games.
Most players will take that. You know what's funny is he's disappointed because he had it broken
On the outside corner.
I mean, most hitters would say, if I can get to 20 games, I know I'll be in good shape, because if you can go 20 games without going hitless, you've done a good job.
He got to 23 and tied the school record, and then made out in the bottom of the 8th inning of a game his team was ahead 1-0. Base hit for Maine, his second of the ball game. UNLV came back and tied that game. He got another chance in the 10th inning and got a base hit. A week later, he also made the last out in the bottom of the 8th in a game that went to extra innings, and he got a base hit in the 10th inning.
I don't think there's any doubt that you have to be lucky to have a long hitting streak. I remember Pete Rose had a 44-game hitting streak, and that happened to him about 3 times during that streak, where the other team would rally or we would rally and give him another at bat, and he took advantage of it. Obviously, you have to be good enough to take advantage of it, but you have to be lucky to get that extra shot all the time.
Leading RBI man for Cal State Fullerton, Mike Ross. His 60th RBI of the season with a double back in the 5th inning. Runner at first with 1 man out here in the top of the 7th. 11 hits in the game for Cal State Fullerton.
You've been covering the College World Series for a long time. How many times have you seen where they have 2 second basemen hitting 4th, not 3rd or anywhere 4th?
I can't remember it, Joe. It's really a surprise. Saw Standiford last night. But I think what's even more surprising is we mentioned that every team, the second baseman is a key player. Trujillo bats number 2, a key defensive man for Miami. He may be the weakest offensively in the series. But Standiford, you mentioned Tommy Edwards, who's a key man for Florida. And then Frank Carey this afternoon with 3 hits for Stanford. He's been their hottest hitter. Breaking pitch hit deep to center field. Vieira going over. He gets there. 2 men out. Vieira's an excellent defensive outfielder. Gets a good jump on the ball. Here comes Keith Cobb. Last time up in the 5th inning, here's what happened.
With 2 men on.
High and deep to left field. Fiore runs out of room. It's in the bleachers. And there's Keith Cobb's dad. Some Cal State Fullerton fans here. A few more than were in Starkville, Mississippi. I understand it was about 9 and a crowd of over 6,000 there. Taking a look for ball. But the fans down in Starkville, people at Cal State Fullerton said they just treated them wonderfully. And Coach Larry Cushell said that the player Fullerton leading 5-3. Trying for a couple more. This afternoon, Stanford beat Fresno State 10-3. The winner of this game will play Stanford Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. The loser will play Fresno State at 4 o'clock, excuse me, at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Pitch to Osborne. Down low. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern time, California and Florida. An elimination game on Franklin, and Jim Cott will bring you the action. And you don't Don't go to sleep, guys. This is a tense moment.
No, they're Royals fans.
Omaha Royals.
Oh, okay.
Check swing, pop into short right. It could be trouble. Doug DeCock goes back in foul territory, makes the catch. Had a little trouble with the lights, but he made the play. DeGray gets out of it. And as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning, Cal State Fullerton leads Miami 5-3. Looking at the largest crowd in College World Series history, 16,060. Previous record was 15,678, June of 1984. But with the expanded seating capacity here at Rosenblatt Stadium, good fan turnout. And as always, the people of Omaha support the College World Series tremendously. It's great to be part of the College World Series. Sam Rosen along with Joe Morgan. This is game 4. First round action. Cal State Fullerton leading at 5-3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And Rob Word, third baseman, will step in. Word transferred from Scottsdale Community College to Miami for this his last year of eligibility. He's from Fort Worth, Texas. In Word, Vieira, and Robles scheduled for Miami against Longo Garcia. Slider on the outside corner.
That was a sidearm slider. He kind of slings the ball from that position, and it's tough for a right-hander.
0-2. Fastball. Boy, he mixed it up beautifully. Slow curve, slider, fastball. Word is down on 3 pitches.
We're going to look at it here. He drops down and throws his fastball on the outside corner. There you see it, it tails back. Strike 3.
7 strikeouts for Longo Garcia. Stanford fans, they were happy this afternoon. National champs won 10-3. John Vieira takes a breaking pitch. A little up high.
And I think Stanford's going to be a team to be reckoned with here because they have got a great job from Plummel today, and they also have Messina, who's a good pitcher. So, and consensus says if you can use 2 pitchers through here, you got a chance of winning if you have 2 outstanding pitchers, which they do.
And they're playing well at the right time, Joe. They struggled for a while. They're really playing their best baseball of the season right now. Going, Pete Carey, Frank Carey. Got the good defense. Ed Sprague. Hit in the air to short left field. Slicing, foul, just foul. Ed Sprague has got some power. He's hit a home run this afternoon.
Real strong kid, strong arm, and he went high in the draft list of Major League teams and went in the top first round. But I think his ultimate position is going to be catcher, and I think he's going to make a great one because he has a great arm and tremendous power.
The wave is going around Rosenblatt Stadium. All the noise you hear. Count is 1-2 on John Vieira. Slowly up the first base line, stays fair. Cobb had a little trouble with it. Might have glanced off the bag.
It looked like it hit the edge of the bag.
Cobb stayed with it to make the play.
We'll get another look at it here. It's a breaking ball. Vieira gets over the top of it, and well, maybe not. Just bounced over the bag. I think we'll get another look at it here.
Yeah, just in front of the bag.
Yeah, Keith thought it was going to hit the bag. Cobb, but he played it wisely.
2 men out. And here's George Robles, who is 0 for 3 and has his streak on the line. He has been on base in 66 consecutive games. Fans fans are really having a good time with the wave here.
Well, I think that's what it's for.
Line to left field. Mannion goes over, had him played perfectly. Sides retired. 1, 2, 3 for Longo Garcia. He's now retired 7 straight. As we go to the 8th inning with the Titans of Cal State Fullerton leading Miami 5-3. We go to the top half of the 8th inning. The Titans of Cal State Fullerton, champions of the South region, going against the champions of the Atlantic region, the Miami Hurricanes. Ralph Ramirez, the third baseman, leads off against Joe Gray. Both pitchers have gone all the way.
I think Longo Garcia has been a little sharper than Joe Gray, but Joe Gray has battled back. He's had the one bad inning, but other than that, he's pitched pretty well.
Well, as you mentioned, it was interesting to see how Longo Garcia would respond with the lead, and he's responded by facing only 9 batters the last 3 innings.
Well, that's something that you look for in a pitcher. Because if you can go out and score some runs for him, what does it do for him? And in this case, it's really hyped him up a little bit, and he's starting to go real well. He's retired, like you said, the last 7 batters also in a row. So scoring runs is very important, but a pitcher responding is even more important.
Count of 2-1 on Ralph Ramirez. Fastball was late on it.
He was a little tired.
Maniac running down, trying to make the play. He's there. He's ready. Nice catch. On the ground to Robles at short. 1 out in the 8th. George Robles, good second baseman. Move him to short. They flip-flopped he and Trujillo. Last year Trujillo was at short. Robles was at second. Robles real steady at short.
Well, Ron Frazier thinks his ultimate position will be second base in the pros, so he will probably end up at second base, which is what happens to a lot of shortstops. I used to be a shortstop in high school, and I signed actually as a shortstop. But they saw me and Sonny Jackson standing beside each other, and they said, "You're a second baseman now, kid."
Good fastball, 1-1. Does it hurt when they tell you that, Joe?
No, it was a wise decision. I actually had a strong arm when I was a younger fellow, and I had one of the strongest arms in camp, but they moved me to second base because of range. Sonny Jackson was tall and rangy, and he fit the mold of a shortstop. Me being short and stocky, as they say, I fit the mold of a second baseman. I look like Mazeroski more than he did.
Count is 3-1. Gray throwing hard here to Razuk. He seems to be overthrowing a little bit.
Well, that's what happens. What has happened on several occasions today to Joe Gray. He's tried to overthrow the ball.
That's a good fastball. Still has good velocity and good movement. Ron Frazier looking out. He coached the Pan Am team. The team beat Cuba. Lost to Cuba in the championship game.
Well, we might mention that Coach Mark Marquis of Stanford will be the Olympic coach this year. That has to be a big thrill, you know, for a coach to be selected as the Olympic coach for his country.
On the ground, 1 hop to Word at third. Sidrick make that 2 men out. Excuse me. This is the number 9 man, Bobby Jones. 1 for 3. That was a double. It came in the 5th inning. He was out trying to stretch it into a triple. Cal State Fullerton went on to score 4 runs in that inning. Take a 5-3 lead, and that's where we stand right now. Slider foul back. Now you talked about Bobby Jones. You like his looks as a hitter. Scouts like him too. He's been drafted 3 times.
Oh, okay. See, hey, maybe I should be a scout.
Nah, not enough money in that. They don't get paid enough.
For what they do, you mean?
He chased that pitch. Strikeout for Joe Gray, his 5th. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Miami will have to come from behind. The Hurricanes down by 2, 5-3. Longo Garcia, who has 9 wins on the season, trying to make it 10. He's thrown only 29 pitches in the last 3 innings. Faced 9 batters. Fiore had a single in there, but was out stealing.
And he's gotten stronger as the ball game has gone along. So he's done an outstanding job.
Walked 2, struck out 7, 6 hits allowed. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Miami 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Trujillo, Fiore, and Dominguez. Trujillo's 1 for 3. A double. And he scored. Almost was thrown out when he went in standing on the double with 2 out. Close play. Big breaking ball missed. That breaking pitch gets the outside corner.
Well, Garcia seems to have so much confidence going down the stretch in all of his pitches. I think that's the key. He has confidence that he can throw the curveball over, but he also has confidence in his fastball. So this is the height of a pitcher's dream, just to be able.
Oh, what a play! What a play by Ralph Ramirez. Hit hard by Trujillo, and Ramirez goes up and stabs it.
Well, he's playing in close, protecting against a bunt, and there's a shot. And he gets an ice cream cone, but he comes up with it. Great play.
Good webbing in the glove. Ralph Ramirez, 1 man out. Here's Mike Fiore. A double and a single in 3 trips. And the only man to get aboard of the last 10 that Garcia has faced.
I think this is a perfect confrontation here. He's going from the windup. He can just go after Fiore any way he wants, like you will see. Inside, ball 2. Pretty good pitch.
Mike Fiore, 88 base hits now this season, plus 66 walks. That's a lot of time on the bases. Breaking pitch for a strike.
Garcia is impressive, being able to throw a 2-0 breaking ball. And he got it on the outside corner, too.
That breaking pitch stays inside.
That was kind of a 3/4 or sidearm breaking ball that just hung out there.
With Trujillo up, Ramirez was in on the grass. With Fiore up,
He's back on the grass.
he's back on the outfield grass. That's right. Curveball hit in the air to short center field. Jones got a late break on the ball, but he gets there. 2 men out.
As you mentioned, he got a late break, but it was so high, he could have gone back to the outfield wall and come back in and got it. Fiore just missed hitting that one.
2 men out, and that defensive play by Ramirez, really a big one. Because with the leadoff man on, had it gone through for a base hit, could have started things for Miami with the heart of the order coming up. Here's Dominguez. Driven in a run with a ground ball single, also walked. 2 men out. Bottom half of the 8th inning.
When he throws that pitch there, the fastball that tails back on the outside corner, I mean, he just reminds me so much of Luis Tiant, because that's the way he falls off the mound, and that was the movement he would get on his fastball from that position.
Good fastballs. He dropped down. Garcia has retired the last 9 in a row and has faced the minimum of 11 in the last 3 2/3 innings. Fiore had a single but was caught stealing back in the 5th.
And as you say, he's ready to go.
Miami without without base runners, unable to get their game in gear. Breaking pitch, he went around. Strike 3. 8 strikeouts for Longo Garcia as he puts Miami down 1-2-3 for the 3rd inning in a row. We go to the 9th with the Titans of Cal State Fullerton leading 5-3. ESPN's live presentation of the 1988 NCAA College World Series is being brought to you by Almaden Wines. Every glass is sheer pleasure, pure enjoyment. By Wendy's Old-Fashioned Hamburgers, the best burgers in the business. By Wilson Sporting Good Company, where there's a will, there's Wilson. And by the financial professionals at Paine Webber. Top of the 9th. And the Titans of Cal State Fullerton leading 5-3. 4-run 5th inning. Put them in the lead. Cal State Fullerton got a run in the 1st off Joe Gray. Miami got 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and led 3-1. And then Gray was hit hard for 5 base hits in that 5th inning. As the Titans got the big hit. Larry Kershaw. Last year he coached at Northwestern. He was there only for a year and moved out to Cal State Fullerton. Top of the order, Greg Mannion takes a fastball for a strike. Joe Gray has thrown 129 pitches. A lot more than his norm. Changeup hit in the air to deep right field. Noriega going back near the warning track, makes the catch. One man out here in the 9th. Winner tonight will play Stanford Monday night in the 2nd game of the Monday doubleheader. Shane Flores, the designated hitter, steps in. He's 1 for 4 in the ball game. A single back in the 3rd.
If you're looking toward the Miami 9th, they'll have up Vespi, DeCock, and Noriega.
Wide of the 3rd baseman and off the glove of the shortstop, Robles. And Flores is on. Robles might have been bothered by Word cutting in front of him.
Well, there's no doubt he was, because I think you lose sight of the ball when the 3rd baseman cuts in front of you like that. We'll get another look at it here as it's chopped to the right side. There I see he thought the 3rd baseman had the ball, because I actually thought he caught it from up here. But he's shielded right there from the ball, and he has no chance to make the play.
Base hit for Flores, his 2nd of the game, 13th hit of the game for Cal State Fullerton. And now a chance for the Titans to build here as they go to their heart of the order. Here's Brent Maine, who has 2 hits and a walk. Maine singled and scored back in the 5th, singled in the 7th. Leading hitter on the team for Cal State Fullerton. Came into the game hitting .401. Now has 93 hits on the season. Just a sophomore. If he puts a little bit of strength on Joe, hits a few more long balls, people are going to really go after him.
Well, I think that's all he needs, a little more physical strength and some more experience. And I think you'll see a very, very fine player.
On the count 3-0. Let's see if Maine is turned loose. He takes. That's ball 4. Even Maine thought it was a strike. He hesitated. Looked like a pretty good pitch. Joe Gray can't believe it.
I actually think Maine stole one here. We'll get another look at it.
He wasn't sure he was going to go back.
Well, it looks like a strike, unless it's up a little bit out of the strike zone. But
and that's going to be all for Joe Gray, because the head man, Ron Fraser, is taking a walk out to the mound. And he's going to the bullpen. We're in the top half of the 9th inning. With one man out, Cal State Fullerton has put runners at first and second. And Joe Gray goes 8 1/3, is finished as Dan Bruckner will come on with Cal State leading it 5-3. Sam Rosen and Joe Morgan at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. Top half of the 9th inning with Cal State Fullerton leading Miami by the score of 5-3. A pitching change made for the Hurricanes. Senior right-hander Dan Bruckner, 6'2", 190 pounds, from Manhattan Beach, California, comes on in relief of Joe Gray. Bruckner leads Miami in earned run average, 2.47. This is his 24th appearance of the year, 23rd in relief. Record of 4-1. State Fullerton, and right-handed batters Mike Ross and Keith Cobb scheduled up. Bruckner relies on a fastball, throws a breaking ball. Here comes Ross. Our four-man in the order is 1 for 4, had a big double to drive in a run in the 5th inning. 60 RBIs this season for Mike Ross. Flores at second, Maine at first, with one man out. Miami infield looking for 2.
This is a situation where Ross should sit on the fastball, but he doesn't get it. That's a good curveball from Bruckner, but I think when a guy comes into the ball game in this situation, it's very tough for him to come in and always throw strikes. So I would sit on the fastball the first pitch, but he made an excellent pitch with the breaking ball. It doesn't hurt you. You still have 2 strikes left.
A little off that breaking pitch. Called a strike on the outside corner. Bruckner's last appearance was against Georgia Tech in the Atlantic Regional. Worked a 1/3 of an inning.
It was an interesting shot. He seemed like he was talking to himself. Bruckner, he said something I don't think anyone else could hear. Maybe he was talking to himself.
Hitter.
That's an excellent job of pitching by Bruckner. Comes in and throws 3 strikes. Throws good fastball on the outside corner. The 2 breaking balls set that up. He had not seen the fastball yet, and the speed fooled him.
And that ice cream must
be good. He's devoured.
Now here's Keith Cobb. 3 for 4 in the game with the big hit, a 3-run homer in the 5th inning that put Cal State Fullerton in the lead. And that's where they've remained to this point. We're in the top half of the 9th inning, 2 on and 2 out. Good curveball from Bruckner.
Well, he had excellent motion with that pitch, Sam. He took a little off the curveball, but he threw his whole arm very quickly at the hitter and took a little off. Good pitch, good motion.
Again, the curveball missed, 2-1. Shane Flores at second. Brent Maine is at first. Not that much speed on the bases. You don't have to have that much speed with Keith Cobb at the plate. He can lose it in a hurry. 20 home runs this season and 8 home runs in his last 14 games, including this one tonight. Count is 3-1. It's Bruckner being very careful. Big Keith Cobb. Changeup that was fouled back. Big swing Joe?
That was a pretty good swing. He threw him a good pitch. He took something off the curveball again, as you said. But Cobb stayed back and had a pretty good swing at it. We'll get another look at it here. Let's see if he keeps his weight back. That's good. Good balance right there. Good swing.
Runners will be going 3-2 and 2 out. And a balk is called.
Well, you can't throw to an unoccupied base. So that is a balk.
I don't understand what happened with Bruckner.
Bruckner thought there were runners at first and third, and he was going to give it to third base move and then throw it to first, but then he realized no one was there.
So we have seen a balk now.
Right. I'm laughing, but really, it's just a real big mistake. Watch, he's going to fake to third, and then he has to throw there, see? He realizes that no one is there.
So now runners in scoring position. And a pitch in the dirt is ball 4.
And all it did was ensure Cobb a walk, because he wasn't going to pitch to him after that.
So the bases are loaded. Tough situation for Ron Fraser and his Hurricanes. Bases loaded with 2 men out in the top half of the 9th inning. Cal State Fullerton leading by 2, looking for more. Jim Osborne, the right fielder. 2 singles. Fastball over and a good one.
Bruckner has excellent stuff, Sam. He has a good fastball, good curveball, and he changes speeds on the curveball. But you can see him talking to himself. He's psyching himself up there. That's great.
Curveball in the dirt. Good play by Dominguez.
Haven't seen that since Mark Fidrich used to talk to the baseball.
Yeah, but he's got to talk to himself and tell him there was no run at third base.
Right, he forgot that.
First and second. And first and second. Now bases loaded.
See, look at it.
Fastball on the outside corner. 1 and 2.
This is great. I mean, he's really psyching himself up, and I think that's great.
All right. Find the one you want, Dan? That's it. Curveball missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded at the top of the 9th for Cal State Fullerton. Jim Osborne. Hit hard, deep to left field. Way back, it's going. It's gone. A grand slam homer for Jim Osborne. And Cal State Fullerton leads 9-3. He said the wrong words. Jim Osborne did some talking with his bat. The Titans of Cal State Fullerton have broken it open on the grand slam homer by Jim Osborne, the replacement right fielder.
Well, good to look at this pitch. He was trying to get the fastball in, I think, and he gets it right in the middle of the plate. Right in the middle of the plate. And that was an excellent swing by Osborne. Here we see it from the side. Good balance, good body position. He drives it out here. He hit that ball real hard.
2 home runs in the ball game for Cal State Fullerton. Back to the live action. And the batter, Ramirez, was hit by the pitch by Bruckner, and immediately the home plate umpires called both coaches out to make sure that things don't get out of hand. Graham is the home plate umpire, and as soon as the batter Ramirez was hit after the home run, as you know, down through the years, if you're a baseball fan, you know how the batter after a home run has got to stay real loose in the batter's box because the pitcher will throw one in tight.
And especially after a grand slam and a guy is talking to himself.
First, there's Ralph Ramirez saying, "Why me?" He's on with 2 men out. 9-3, Cal State Fullerton leading it. 4 runs in the 5th inning. The big hit, a 3-run homer by Cobb. 4 runs here in the 9th on the grand slam by Osborne. Good fastball to Mark Razuk. So Jim Osborne, who replaced Rex Peters in the lineup for Cal State Fullerton. Peters, the regular starting right fielder, left home for disciplinary reasons. Dominguez has room, makes the catch. Sides retired. But the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, they've gotten 2 big innings and 2 big hits, the home runs. And we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning with the Titans leading Miami 9-3. One more inning for Longo Garcia.
Coming up following the College World Series game, Tim Brando and I will have highlights of the Lakers as they go to yet another NBA final, a chance to make it 2 years in a row. And from the French Open tennis tournament, Steffi Graf does make it 2 years in a row. That up next on SportsCenter.
Well, this afternoon, Stanford defeated Fullerton, or rather Fresno State, excuse me, 10-3.
I thought that was a closer game than the final score indicated. This has been a closer game than the score indicates.
Well, one of the things that we talked about before the game started was that Cal State Fullerton plays for the big inning. And they've had 2 big innings. In the 9th, they scored 4, and back in the 5th inning, they scored 4.
Will Vespi leading off for Miami here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Longo Garcia pitching, first pitch on the ground. Cobb makes the play, 1 man out. 11 men in a row retired by Longo Garcia.
You talked about Cochelle being different from Augie Donatelli.
Augie Garrido.
Where Donatelli used to be an umpire. Anyway, this is one of the things that is different. He plays for the big inning. He believes in not bunting because he doesn't have a lot of speed. He doesn't run a lot.
These guys have come through with some big hits.
Not only tonight, they must have come through all season to get them to the College World Series.
Well, they did against Texas A&M, same ways. Hit to the shortstop. Razuk going on the run. 2 men down. You've got a 6-run lead. You can afford to do that. And what a finish by Longo Garcia. He has faced the minimum number of batters since the 5th inning. Fiore got on a single in that 5th and was thrown out stealing. Garcia is now retired 12 in a row.
And it was right after they scored the 4 runs for him. He took charge of this ball game and has done an excellent job.
On the ground to second, and this should be the ball game. It's all over. The Titans of Cal State Fullerton with the big hits and the big pitching of Longo Garcia. They played Longo with the bat and Longo on the mound. The Titans defeat Miami 9-3 in the final game of the first round of the College World Series. Cal State Fullerton will go into the winners bracket in this division to meet up with Stanford. Miami will drop into the losers bracket to meet up with Fresno State on Monday. Larry Cochelle, his 2nd trip to the World Series, and he comes up with a win. He was in the World Series in 1978 with Oral Roberts. And now Ron Fraser and the Miami Hurricanes will have to regroup and come back through the losers side. The players of the game for Miami, Mike Fiore had 2 hits, including an RBI double. Continues his fine hitting this season as he remains over the 400 mark. For the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, Keith Cobb, 3 hits, including the game-winning 3-run homer, and Longo Garcia. He pitched a complete game, allowed only 6 hits. Only 1 hit over the last 5 innings. Longo puts him down, and the Titans of Cal State Fullerton win it 9-3. Cal State Fullerton hasn't lost in postseason play. 4 straight wins in the South Regional, and they continue on as they defeat the Hurricanes of Miami 9-3. A 5-3 ball game in the 9th inning. A grand slam homer by Jim Osborne breaking it open. The big hit, a 3-run homer in the 5th inning that gave them the lead for good. Hit by Keith Cobb, the first baseman, who, as far as Joe and I saw it, were the co-players of the game, along with pitcher Longo Garcia. And right now joining us down on the field, the head coach Larry Cashel, the winning pitcher Longo Garcia. And coach, real good ball game by your team as you came back after you were down. What were the thoughts on the bench when you were down early in the ball game?
Well, we know we have the ability to come back because we have been a big inning, and as long as Longo's pitching, we know we have a chance to win the ball game.
You brought up one thing. It was just like you scripted for me this morning. You say you're a big inning ball club. You wait for the big inning and produce and get good pitching, good defense. I thought that your team followed that script perfectly today.
We did, Joe. That's the way we have to play because we don't have a lot of foot speed and we can't do a lot of things. But one thing we have the ability to do, and that's get the ball in the alley.
Anything that you saw as far as Joe Gray's pitching that you told your players as far as they hit him very well in that 5th inning?
I think we started looking for the fastball a little bit. I don't think he was getting the breaking ball up as much as he wanted to.
Want to move on to Longo Garcia, your winning pitcher, an outstanding effort. And Longo, what was your feeling going out to the mound in the 5th inning once you got the lead?
I just wanted to keep him there, and I didn't want to give up any more runs. I knew that our team could come back.
I told Sam, watching you throw the sidearm or 3/4 arm fastball that tailed back over the outside corner reminded me a lot of Louis Tiant. That's the way his fastball moved.
Yeah, I've heard I'm sort of like a Louis Tiant mold. That's what I heard.
What do you think is your best pitch? You threw an assortment out there today, and you were able to get them all over.
I think my breaking ball is my out pitch. Today it seemed to be my sidearm breaking ball.
I told Sam, you know, the test of a pitcher is when his team scores some runs and can he close the thing out. If that's the barometer, you get A's in all categories because you really picked it up when your team scored those 4 runs in the 5th inning.
Well, thank you very much. I like to finish anything I start, and today was no exception.
Longo, did you feel that the Miami hitters were trying to disrupt your rhythm? It seemed like you wanted to pitch as soon as you got the ball back.
Yeah, I usually work really quick, and earlier in the ball game they were stepping out and trying to ruin my rhythm, but I just stayed within myself and I didn't let it bother me.
Congratulations on an excellent performance.
Thank you very much.
Coach, congratulations, and we'll see you Monday night in the winner's bracket game.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, their head coach Larry Cashel, winning pitcher Longo Garcia, his 8th complete game of the season, make that his 9th complete game of the season. He wins his 10th of the year. He's 10-5, same record he had last season. The play of the game came in the 5th inning, top half of the 5th, 3-2, Miami's leading it, 2 men on. The pitch from Joe Gray to Keith Cobb is up, and it's out of here, deep to left field. Mike Fiore goes back. He can only watch it leave Rosenblatt Stadium. A 3-run homer for Keith Cobb. It gave the Titans of Cal State Fullerton the lead, 5-3. They added to it in the 9th inning with a grand slam by Jim Osborne, and they win their opening game of the 1988 College World Series 9-3. They'll move on to play Stanford on Monday night. We'll be right back.
It is no big deal.
It's a hassle.
Oh, it's called Master Care Car Service. Brakes, tune-ups.
Alignments?
No big deal. The mechanics are great. All their equipment, you'd swear they were technicians. And they stand behind their work 6 months or 6,000 miles.
Master Care.
You're covered from Maine to Missoula. These guys are so good. Fixing your car is no big deal.
Finally, taking care of your car is no big deal. Master Care Car Service by Firestone.
But I thought they just sold tires.
What harm can a little water do? The damaging effects of water and time have always been wood's enemy. Introducing new Rust-Oleum Wood Saver Paint. A special wood formula with Teflon for twice the moisture protection of ordinary paint. So if it's going to get wet, get Rust-Oleum.
You've got the whole world in your hand. You've got the whole wide world in your hand. You've got the whole world in your hand. You've got the whole world in your hand.
Put the whole world
in your hand with Radio Shack's new portable cellular phone. A price and technology breakthrough.
Look at the whole world in your hand.
Only at Radio Shack, the technology store.
All you need to know about great selection and low prices is here, inside the newest circular from True Value Hardware Stores. Check out the Father's Day circular for the Loctite cordless hot melt glue gun. That's only $13.99. This Master Mechanic cordless screwdriver with charging base and Phillips slotted bit for just $15.99. And the high-powered turbo wash pressure washer is only $13.99 at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
First time back in the World Series since 1984. This time with a new coach, Larry Cashel, and Cal State Fullerton, with their fine pitcher Longo Garcia throwing a 6-hitter, facing the minimum 15 batters over the last 5 innings, allowing only 1 hit and retiring the last 13 in a row. And the Titans win it 9-3. They'll play Stanford. They met Stanford early in the season, Joe. It was games 6, 7, and 8 of the season for Cal State Fullerton. For Stanford, it was their 4th, 5th, and 6th games of the season. And they'll meet up again. This was the 9th inning. Dan Bruckner, the relief pitcher on the mound, facing Jim Osborne. And Osborne goes down and gets that fastball and puts it out of the ballpark, a grand slammer to ice the game for Cal State Fullerton.
Well, I thought Stanford was playing much better toward the end of the season, but so is Cal State Fullerton. I think you have to throw their previous record out when they meet each other, because that was early in the season and both teams have gone through some changes since that time, and they're both playing well now. I think that's important.
Head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, Ron Fraser, has joined us down on the field. And Coach, you met up with a pretty tough pitcher. Is he one of the best you've faced this season?
Yeah, he did a great job with us. You know, he had that breaking pitch working, and he kept coming at us. He worked real fast. I think that we tried to break his rhythm there, but it didn't work. And I thought he did a great job.
Well, I knew if anybody would try to break his rhythm, you would, Ron.
We kept asking for timeout, but we didn't get much.
You know, Ron, he reminded me, I told guys, of Louis Tion a little bit. And I know you're, being a connoisseur of fine baseball, I'm sure that he reminds you of someone.
Yeah, he did. He just kept going at us. And, when they go like that, and he's got the good breaking pitch, and he got us chasing. He was throwing breaking pitches 0-2, 2-0, 3-2. It didn't make any difference, and he kept us off pretty good.
In that 5th inning, Joe Gray was hit very hard. What happened in that inning?
It's hard to say. He got up. He got up, and that was probably the biggest thing. I thought that Joe's biggest problem tonight was getting the ball up and getting in there. And their free swinging ball club, you can't pitch up there.
What does this do for your pitching staff, and what kind of predicament does it put you in, having to go into the loser's side?
Well, it's always tough that way, but somebody's got to go there, and it's been done before. So we just got to say, hey, we're gonna show people why we're here, and not go home. Certainly not go home playing a kind of ball game that we haven't played all year. So we've got to play a lot better baseball, and the club's got to be a lot looser, and we've got to put the ball in play and get people on base to play our kind of game.
Who will pitch for you on Monday?
I would say Stephen Major will be starting.
Why him?
Well, he's a breaking ball pitcher, and he's a senior, and he's a pretty competitive guy, and we're going him over the freshman.
Going against Fresno State, that'll be a tough game for you, don't you?
Yeah, it will. Especially if they loosen up, and play the kind of baseball that we all know they can play. They're a tough hitting ball club.
You talk about loosening up. Why do you feel that your team might have been a little tight tonight?
Well, I don't know. I think every ball club is, but I felt that our guys weren't playing like we usually do, and I'm giving a lot of credit to the pitcher, but I think that we can play a little bit better. Next ball game, we've got to do it.
Ron Fraser, thanks for coming on with us, and good luck on Monday.
Thank you.
Ron Fraser of the Miami Hurricanes will play Fresno State in the first game of Monday's doubleheader. Cal State Fullerton will play Monday night against Stanford in a winner's bracket game. Tomorrow, a doubleheader, an elimination game at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Ron Franklin and Jim Cott will bring you the game between California and Florida, and then a winner's bracket game follows that. Tomorrow night, it'll be Arizona State and Wichita State. Joe Morgan and I will bring you that game. So be with us tomorrow for our continuing coverage of the 1988 College World Series. Tonight, a big home run, couple of big home runs for Cal State Fullerton. Win it for the Titans. Longo Garcia
Garcia picks up his 10th victory of the season, a complete game performance, and he really finished strong. Going the last 5 innings, allowing only 1 hit, facing 15 batters as the Titans of Cal State Fullerton come to the College World Series and defeat Miami. Miami seeded number 3 in the tournament. They went down 3-1 to Miami, but came up with the big inning twice. 4 runs in the 5th and 4 in the 9th. And the ace of the staff, Longo Garcia, made it stand up. Got some good defense as well. And the big home run from the big first baseman, Keith Cobb. He had 3 hits in the ball game, including the game-winning 3-run homer in the 5th. So the Titans of Cal State Fullerton will move on in the winner's bracket. For Joe Morgan, this is Sam Rosen. So long, everyone.